Raw Comedy Podcast.
Welcome to the Raw Comedy Podcast. Brought to you by Bangkok's weekly open mic and home for stand-up comedy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Raw Comedy Podcast. With the guys right now, we were just talking about. Well, what were we talking about, guys?
Dude, I just found white ball hair, and like pre-COVID, I saw pictures of me pre-COVID, and I didn't have as many gray hairs, nearly as many as I have now. But then when to find it on your balls, it's a whole nother. It's
personal.
How's your upper bush?
Totally fine.
Because
All
your
clean.
beard is very salt and pepper.
Yeah, the difference in a year is remarkable. But you know what that is, right? When you go gray, it's your internal organs needing more energy, right?
So no, it's dying.
Yeah, they're basically
Right.
dying.
So they need to conserve the energy
like when
to
a
keep
tree-
you alive.
Yeah.
That's when the trees leaves.
And it feels so much more real when it's on your balls. You feel like it's your balls.
It's like now my balls are dying.
My
too.
balls are directly dying, even though it could be any part inside you.
Right. But why do you get the gray on your beard before your balls?
Why don't you just shave your balls?
Because your balls
I
are
didn't
more
read that
important.
in the manual.
Why you gotta deal with that? Why don't you just shave your nuts? Shave your nuts.
That's how I found out that they were gray. I let that little thing go a little
Shaving your nuts.
wild and untamed for a while.
So basically,
you know?
you're hiding a secret right now.
I had a COVID beard. I'm a ball sack.
Right. Like
Do
a
girls-
playoff beard.
Do girls care if you got a gray ball hair?
I never had it.
I think they probably care more about how gross and weird your dick looks. The pubes are the least of their worries.
Are they though? I don't know. Pubes are gnarly, dude.
Yeah, they are,
always-
dude. And how mean of a fucking lockdown bush do you guys all have right now? Because I haven't trimmed my pubes in quite some time.
It was wild.
I trimmed
That's why I got.
It's been like I don't know if I've trimmed my pubes this year.
Hilarious.
I don't.
So you got a monster redheaded fire bush right
It's
now.
not redheaded.
Well, it was the last time me and my lady got frisky, and she had to do this so many times. She just stopped and just looked at me, and I'm like, all right, I get it.
I got a weird you guys remember Joakim Noah?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like curly, but like droopy. It's not like a strong.
I was gonna say it had buck teeth.
Yeah.
If you let it grow
Or
out,
like a lion's
if
mane.
you let it grow out full, if you think this is full strength, at
no.
a certain point,
Does it look like
my
Queen
beard,
Elizabeth?
like
Queen
right around
Elizabeth
here, my beard kind of stops growing.
Yeah.
At that length,
It grows really fast, and then and then it stops.
I've never shaved.
I
Mine
feel like
just
my balls
it's
do
just kind of like it's growing this way, and then I think it is gonna it's at peak length, and now
Yeah.
it's just getting fuller.
Yeah.
Well, it's at that point it's done its job naturally to protect the dick and balls.
Is that what pubes are for?
I think so.
It definitely has an evolutionary.
I thought it
benefit.
was to draw attention. I thought it was that's where I'm supposed to put my dick.
In a bush, in a fucking
right in
bush,
the bush,
another
yeah.
bush. I don't know actually. I don't know.
Or
Well,
what
you know
could
what?
prove-
I bet you it's like VD shit too. Because I remember when there was all the craze, Buzz the Bush, and there was one. It got rid of a whole bunch of crabs. We almost wiped out crabs. With
Almost.
people. But other
But a
stuff.
few
other
good
stuff
guys
was
kept
going.
them around, kept
Yeah,
the pubes
yeah,
long.
yeah.
For
I was just like, you know what? Double them up. It was like I was taking in refugees. Right?
Yeah. They're like border crossing. You know that spot that Spain has that's in Africa where all the refugees go. That was the crabs.
they take a lifeboat from your asshole to your fucking bush. Yeah, dude, totally. I can see that. Yeah, why wouldn't they have that?
Lex, you were gonna say
If
something
they were
else
bureaucrats,
about balls.
if these specimen were
Just thinking about the death of my balls.
well,
It's a real sad day.
Do you have any other reasons to think your balls are dying?
I just feel like you don't play with them enough. It's like if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be kind of wouldn't that be kind of a relief for a dude though? Because your whole life, at least up to this point in mine, is just constant boners and thoughts about what to do with that boner. Once they start dying, wouldn't you have a lot more free time on your hands to focus on various projects?
that's why things like science were invented and shit.
Yeah.
These guys that got tired of
Because they got gray ball
That's
hairs.
that's a risky gamble, knowing the power of your horniness, that you might just let it go for a month or two and then be like, now what?
It's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what do
I
I do?
have a family member who suffered from depression. He got given some meds that kind of killed his libido. for a few months, and he was on it. And then he was, and I saw him, and he was like, "Yeah, I feel much better from that, but like I don't want to have sex at all." And then he was like, "Can't believe how much time I've wasted on women my whole life. I get so much time suddenly. It's wasted so much time chasing pussy, just
But you can
days
turn
and
it
days
off.
and days." And he was like, "I'm just free."
What did he do with that free? Did he like get a bunch
He just
of
jerked off.
hobbies
He
and
just
stuff?
jerked off.
Because to
basically.
me, the point of doing anything is the potential that it'll get you laid someday.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like a guy like Charles the French practicing cards and shit and magic tricks.
Sure.
That's like playing the long game. Oh, someday this is going to get me laid.
Big time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like I say,
great
on one
investment.
hand, you have all this free time, but what would be the motivation to do anything?
Yeah, exactly.
I guess money.
What do you do? No,
Yeah, but even that,
it's still.
Oh, I want money. Yeah, right. I don't give a, yeah.
you don't give a fuck where you live,
I don't know.
clearly.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Like for example,
I agree completely.
But I crave attention, not just to get pussy. I crave attention because
Like
I
from-
feel like I need attention,
Right.
and I think that can be a strong motivator to chase success or do stuff just to get attention.
Right. So you just want to be popular.
Yeah, if
And
girls
if
didn't,
not,
if girls
I don't
didn't,
buy it.
if, no,
Pussy.
no.
I
So
don't buy
listen,
it.
if girls didn't exist,
Yes.
right? Like, wouldn't you want to be like one of the cool dudes? Wouldn't you want to? Would you still want to be
wanna
cool?
fuckable, huh,
Would
Chris?
you still
wanna
want to be cool,
You
dude?
still want to be fuckable to all those dudes?
Exactly. If chicks didn't exist,
Hey,
I'm
does
like,
Joey think I'm cool?
hey, don't you want to be cool, man? Oh, by the way,
If
that
women
bush
weren't around, we'd still be okay.
is the bush there. Just to go back for just a fucking heartbeat, just for a second. Is was that my faggot?
Was it a bush
my faggot
alert?
alarm?
Yeah, second time.
You're being a faggot.
I don't have to stop like using it. Your bush.
The bush keeps your dick and balls warm, maybe.
Does it?
Right. So that's why you would have a thicker bush. People from colder climates would have
Is that true?
a thicker bush. I don't know.
Well, because I've seen some
I'm
pretty
cool.
thick
I don't think
bushes
that's it.
here. Like I've seen some hip to hip
Oh, no, you know what it
mean
is?
bushes.
I know what it is.
What is
Sorry
it?
to pop. It's muskiness. It's still that we still have pheromones going
Oh,
through. And that's
yeah.
why we got it in our pits. That's why we got it by our cool
Oh.
So you know when the chick is
So that-
ovulating or whatever.
So it'll hold the oils.
Yeah,
more.
Right,
yeah,
but
yeah.
but that smell is supposed to turn you on. As a
It
man.
did, but apparently it does though.
Supposed to.
No, it does though. Like you don't think about it consciously,
Yeah.
but if
Yes.
you're in a relationship with a girl, you live with her, you kind of know when she's ovulating. You don't know it consciously, but your dick and balls know.
It stinks in here.
You're like, man, why
It
do I have a
just-
boner?
It ain't just smell. It's the lips get fuller, right? The eyes get
Yeah.
more doughy.
Yeah, they get more fuckable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Start looking a little more youthful.
Fucking is so funny.
It really is. Well, it's a good reminder that we're fucking animals.
Right.
And it's also proof that we're the top of the chain link. I was thinking about this. It's like women just ovulate, like they're on their whatever regular cycle, right? But they're not like seasonary.
Right. Like most mammals have a mating season.
Yes.
So
Why?
I think
So
they
Justin
only
can fuck him.
Why
That's
though?
why.
Why?
because it's like because they have scarcer resources and shit.
Exactly.
So like a bear needs to hibernate or whatever the fuck, and then in the spring there's a lot of salmon and berries and shit. So then that's
Eats
when
all
it's
its
time to
fat.
fuck. So I think most mammals only have like one period a year.
Or two, or whatever
but
it is.
humans get it every month because they're just constantly ovulating.
because they run shit.
Yeah.
So they run shit, and
So
that's
we're
why
always
they don't
ready.
need. Yes,
So,
exactly.
so how come you guys fuck animals all the time then?
Feels better.
But not just once a year like you.
Only
Yeah,
during
right.
mating season.
Only during Christmas, actually. That's what I.
But could it be that, or could it be that we're not the top of the food chain? Because I don't know how to fight bear, so
Yeah,
maybe
but-
it's just like the more we reproduce, that's how we survive.
We survive in numbers.
Like rabbits and rats.
Sure,
There's
maybe.
not, they reproduce way more than us. and
Yeah,
they're
but you
not
don't
running
need to.
anything.
You don't need to worry about
No, but
fighting
they
a
still
bear
go
though.
to heat. They still go in heat.
Well, if you see a bear, would you worry about fighting it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, there you go.
I would probably.
But we're
lose.
smart. We're smarter. That's why we're top.
So, but would you be so afraid that you would get a boner?
Like I'm not afraid of a bear walking in the door right now. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we
They can't
run
do that.
shit.
We
Yeah.
could go to his house.
Yeah.
We could go to his house and fuck him up.
Yeah, but
Now,
He
if
can't come
If a
here.
bear did open the door and walk in, I'd be terrified.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
There you go.
Especially because he figured out how to come to
my
the
God.
23rd floor.
Well, how did you get in?
And then he had to
Oh my God,
he
he
had to sign in with the security guard.
Exactly.
He's wearing like a
He's
fake
wearing
mustache
mask.
and shit.
Yeah, he has to maneuver COVID.
He has a mask.
And so when he cop or whatever, and he waits for somebody to come get their food panda, and then he sneaks in. That's a motivated bear. Like I'm terrified of sharks, but not right now.
But if you're in the ocean, if you're on its turf, then
If you're in, exactly, you're in their house.
yeah. You'd be silly not to be.
And that's the alpha predator,
concerned.
but we're the fucking alphas. Of the
alpha.
We've transcended the
Alpha,
alphaness.
right?
No, you're not. But you don't need to be.
top of the food chain.
That's because we have better teamwork than any other animal.
Well, no, think about this. So imagine think about what a rabbit needs to consume in its lifetime to survive.
Just a bunch of carrots and
Just
shit.
fucking a bunch of little shrubs and shit. And think about now a human. We have to do now. It's to the level where like I need a car. I need like 4 or 5 cars.
No, you don't. You need an app on your phone.
Well, okay. Well, I need a place to live. I need to build this big space for me and my. I'm changing the earth literally, and I'm taking resources like food and water and shit. I'm consuming way more water and food than a rabbit or even a bear probably does.
Sure.
In my lifetime, and I get to live for like 80 years, and then I'm gonna shit out kids. So back in the day when women would shit out like fucking 12 kids.
It's a nice
I'm talking like here.
Just shit out a couple of kids.
When you shit out, because back in the day, like I'm talking like thousands of years ago.
Sure.
Like,
Dude, just a couple hundred years
Wait,
ago,
wait.
people
So
were
if
shitting
you-
out kids all over the place.
if you
just to
shit
help
a
out
couple
with
of
the
kids,
farm.
they would shit out, but they would shit out enough. They would shit out all the kids they could. Basically, they would
Yeah.
max
Yeah,
themselves
sure.
out.
Right, they got like 8 or 9 kids.
Yeah, they would just
to
max
help
out
them
your
to help them like work the plow and
Yeah.
stuff.
And they did it without a bomb gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
their
so
cougars were
at
gross.
a rate, you know what I'm saying? So like as we basically populate the earth and we just, you know, just consume the fuck out of everything basically.
Where
Right.
are you going with this?
Yeah, where you going?
I'm saying if there were less of us, then maybe something else would be the alpha.
Probably not,
If
though.
there were less of us.
Probably not,
If there was-
because our ability to team up is like unprecedented, at least in like the mammal.
All right. So what do you think? Do you think? I'm sorry. So check this out. Like 100. Sure.
No, you should put those radio waves on your ball sack.
All right. So check it out. Now there's like 300.
That'll speed up the grain
so the-
process.
In the entire Earth, there's only about 1,000 people, and they all live in one area, and that's the entire population of the planet Earth.
Right.
But the population of every other animal has stayed the same. All right.
Yeah, well, back
do you
then,
think?
are you saying if we went back down to that, or because
Oh,
originally
if
we
if
were
became,
that,
if we became that.
right? Because originally we were that, and we were a pretty inconsequential animal. But then we got smarter and
we did mushrooms.
and then we did mushrooms.
I think it depends which 1,000 are left. Like if there's an apocalypse and I'm one of the 1,000, I'm not helping much. Like, it's like I don't know how
You
to.
could do our taxes.
Yeah, great. I can organize people a little bit. Like who's gonna like do stuff, hunt stuff, build stuff.
we would all be pretty fucking useless. We were talking about this last time
Yeah.
because we outsource everything to other people that
Yeah.
we're not good at. So like
Yeah.
fucking building this apartment,
I love how-
getting food,
Yeah, but
driving.
there's like 1,000 people. We ain't making like apartment.
So like, who's gonna do? I'll organize the open mic.
Think about, but you know those people, those crazy rich doomsday people that make like legit bunkers and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are the last people in the world that should probably survive some shit like that.
That they would be.
Right, and that's ironic. But like, dude, they think they're gonna like they think that they could probably piece back humanity and like be the Walking Dead basically and just like start a civilization again.
Okay, but this is an interesting question.
But
right? So,
let me get through this. But no, in reality, if there was an apocalypse, they would be fucking like they would be like blood bags, like in Mad Max. They'd be fucking chained to the front of
Right.
a
Immediately-
car or
like,
some
so
shit.
wait,
Like,
this is a good point.
These are the betas.
Yeah.
Actually,
So
preparing for
a
this
guy.
shit.
So just to pick up on what you're saying here, so like these rich ass billionaires, they all have their exit strategy because they're contributing to the world getting more and more fucked up.
Yeah, totally.
And so they have their bunkers and shit, and they're gonna have their private security and whatever. But as soon as shit hits the fan, why wouldn't like the alpha of the security just be
Right.
like, "All right, you're dead. Now this is my place."
Yeah, and that's what
Like,
would
why
happen,
would he
totally.
still obey him?
He just has to know all the passwords.
Yeah.
That's all.
True. So these guys are smart, man. They got
Okay, but-
they got encryption and shit. Yeah, but
let's-
electricity no longer exists.
but let's assume you're
They got
rich.
their own generators and stuff.
But what if they're alphas though?
But like if you're rich and you can afford a bunker and plenty of food, right? I'm assuming you got rich at a certain age, so you're probably not 19. Let's say you're in your 30s to 40s to 50s. There's the apocalypse and you survive. Why the fuck would you want to survive? There's nothing gonna be left to do. You're nothing left to run.
Dude, you
only have a few days of life, like to extend something to be in a shitty world of nothingness. I wouldn't want to survive.
You would want to die? I would
You
always
were like
want
the
to survive.
Gray hair on my balls.
Yeah.
You're giving up
You're
way
the
too
you're the
early.
gray ball hair of humanity.
Way too early.
Why?
But you
Because
could
you're giving up.
But you could find joy in like finding and like going to new locations.
You're just gonna have
Traveling
to be
with a
miserable, have a
motorcycle.
horrible life, be afraid of everything for the next few
wouldn't that-
years, just
No,
terrified
you
of
just
shit you won't have shit.
outlasted like 99.9999%.
Yeah,
And
now-
now you have to
the
keep
whole
fighting and
No,
fighting
and-
with guns
but
and dealing with
that's
people
what
and
animals
stabbing
do.
other
We're
people.
animals.
But also repopulating the earth.
Yep.
And you wouldn't have to go to your job
You're
anymore.
assuming there's a significant number of women that survived. You don't know which 1,000 have survived. Maybe there's like 3 women that are never gonna be
Well,
with
we'll-
me.
we'll make
They're gonna
more.
go with some younger dude that can,
So like Mad
and
Max,
I'm
we
just
just
gonna
vote
get
them in a room.
raped by somebody. I'm just gonna be like, the
All right,
rape
so
guy.
would you be one of the first couple hundred people to go to like Mars or the moon and live on the moon?
Ugh, no.
Why not?
Why?
I don't know.
Let's
Well,
just
give
be
me-
done.
Do you
What
think?
do you think the world?
If you can promise me immortality, like if you can tell me, hey, like you can, or let's say you can live
You
1,000
would rather
years.
live forever than live an extra 30, 40 years in like a post-apocalyptic world where
Yes.
it's not.
They're
Listen,
all
it's
you
not
can see.
like devastated. We were saying like a
Mad Max.
couple thousand people, which means that they're like how many people are actually really fighting. You just go
But if
walk
there's
around
only-
in the woods. Sounds like relaxing.
I think I agree with Lex. Like we always in zombie movies, it's always this is the trope. It's always like the zombies are not really who you need to be worried about. It's the other humans.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's how it would actually go down.
Yeah.
Because the reason we got to where we are is because we're good at fucking cooperating.
Yeah.
There's always assholes.
Exactly.
But we ostracize them.
Yeah.
And if you're in a small tribe, you know exactly like who the rapists are and who the thieves are, and then you just like get rid of them. And then like. So how it would actually go down in some kind of post-apocalyptic, like it's always like guys with guns and then they end up fucking like robbing each other. It wouldn't be like that. It'd be like, oh, you guys have chips?
Yeah.
Fucking sick. Oh, you guys have guns? All right, sick. Let's make a bigger crew.
Yeah.
Like that's how
You
we
would
would
try
do
to
it.
weasel your way in, probably. Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
sure. I'd be like, do you want to organize an open mic? I could do that.
But like once during the when everybody gets together and they talk about their problems and feelings, you should also like once a week make a suggestion of like, can we start murdering yet?
Yeah.
Just make a democratic murder kind
Right.
of thing, or maybe just like one of
Human
those.
sacrifice.
Yeah, what do they call the purge type situations?
Yeah.
But don't you think there'd be a guy that would try to take control and like,
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, for sure. There'd be
Immediately.
yeah.
and like that would like there would be ego and there would still be ego.
There'd be a guy who would call himself the prophet,
Yeah,
and
he'd
then
get
start
murdered.
taking mad brides, and then he would have people that would believe him.
Yeah, but then some guy would come by and be like, "Hey, guess what? He's talking shit." And
Yeah.
so most people go, "Oh yeah, it's a cult. God damn it, I watched that movie too." And then they go and make a better society.
Religion. But that was back
It's
in
the
time.
bigger the group, the worse it gets. I think. The bigger
Right,
the
because
group,
then
the worse
you
it
can
gets.
hide in the group.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in a small tribe of people, you can't get away with shit because everybody knows you.
Yeah, and also you justify your own bullshit because it's like good for the group, right?
Right.
So then the bigger the group, the bigger the needs.
Yeah. Like if you're in a small group, it's in your best interest to act in the interest of the group. But obviously, there's going to be sociopaths and psychopaths and shit. But they're going to be easier to spot, and then you can kick them out. But when you have a giant society like we have, like fucking a city of 10 million people, you can kind of infiltrate, and then you don't
weirdos.
need to contribute to the good of the group. You can just fucking take all the
You can
time.
be on your own agenda and just be a fucking
Yeah,
crazy
just be a
person.
piece of shit. Yeah. Which that's why I like living in cities.
Yeah. What?
Because you're so
Yeah. I like murdering and
pillaging.
pillaging. Yes.
But yeah.
Isn't it weird that we have as people it's anonymity through like the masses? What's the word? There's a saying for it, but like you become more anonymous and you have less strength to speak out when you feel like you're part of a group.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's why, like my dad grew up in a small town, and I don't know what this feeling is because I grew up in a city. He's like, it was the greatest feeling in the world, just like walking down the street and nobody knows who I am.
Wow.
Like because if you live in a town, everybody's watching everybody at all
Yeah,
times.
totally.
So so my dad
Driving by
moved to
in the
the
truck
city
all-
so we could murder more hookers and stuff.
Yeah, totally. What a sick dude.
Yeah. So have you guys watched the Olympics yet?
Nope.
No. I have.
I
Not
saw
at
a
all.
TikTok or some American baseball player where he's just all of a sudden walking next to Kevin Durant. He's like, "Yo, what's up, KD?" I thought that's a cool.
Was
moment.
KD cool?
Yeah, he's like, "Yo, what's up, man? What do you do?" And the guy's like a baseball player, so he's like, "What do you do?" Because obviously he's an athlete too.
Yeah.
So he showed him some kind of respect. But it's so interesting. Find that fascinating. Where you just that guy might become famous. I mean, it's baseball. At least that's a real sport.
Sure, yeah.
If you're like a pole vaulter or something.
Baseball's in the Olympics?
Yeah, it is.
I
Yeah,
think
but
vaulting
major
is more
leaguers don't
sport.
go.
What? So what's the point? No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's crazy this year because there's no fans, so it's all just athletes. So anybody who's not Japanese is most likely an Olympic athlete that you run into.
Yeah.
And they're all in the athletes' village getting their fuck on.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. That's what I keep thinking.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
But I mean, it's gonna suck if they have some COVID restrictions where they can go to the Olympics but they can't get the fuck on.
They do.
Yeah.
They
That's
do
gonna
have
suck,
those.
though.
But the
In
thing
fact,
about
they
this-
have beds. I saw there were some beds, like the no fuck beds.
Right, the
Yeah.
cardboard beds that are collapsible and shit.
Because every Olympics,
this doesn't even make sense. Why the fuck? So they're gonna. Here's the thing.
You know what-
You
okay.
you can't stop them from fucking. They're
No, of course.
These guys
these
are
guys are
fucking
young
alphas.
the best
They're-
looking people on the
dude,
planet. Well, not
seriously.
really, but the most athletic.
The most athletic.
They're gonna be fucking.
They're gonna be fucking. Of course, these guys are monsters. These guys are fucking maniacs.
I thought that's what the Olympics was about. Was
It
just
is. It's a
putting all
global
our
fuck
Guys
fest.
and
Yeah.
girls putting all the fucking
best
best
gene pool
together so they can fucking make offspring in their own
Yeah,
country.
and they always, well, they
They
always
trained for 4 years to be allowed to go to that massive orgy.
Yeah,
That's the,
yeah,
that's the
for real.
prize.
That's the prize. That's the
Totally.
real gold
That's-
medal.
you get to go.
Yeah, because they always say this. They give out.
wishes he was in the Olympics now.
Yeah, but he
His
didn't train
And the
for it.
Special Olympics is the same thing too.
Right, right.
That's the
It's
same.
even easier.
Yeah,
Actually.
he should get the fuck out.
Actually, I don't think he can make the Special Olympics.
No, those retards are pretty strong. But yeah, every year they like order a shitload of condoms and have them out for free. And every year they either run out or people just don't use them. And this is like a little known thing about the Olympics. There's always like big gonorrhea outbreaks and shit
Totally.
because they're just fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna say, oh, but here's the thing: if the
Everywhere,
people,
Chris.
if the people,
their mouths,
Dude,
their butts.
if the people
Everywhere.
up top, whoever's ever pulling the strings here, right, Rupert Murdoch type level motherfuckers, right? If they really gave a shit about mankind or like the safety of COVID and shit, then this wouldn't be happening.
No,
period.
for sure. Well,
This-
all
this
the
whole thing-
athletes,
but
all
they
the
don't.
athletes have been vaccinated and shit.
right? But it's such a joke.
They're still
that-
calling it Tokyo 2020. Like it's the logo is 2020,
Well, they're already
even though it's
purchased all the
2021. And it's kind of. I was watching 3-on-3 basketball, and it was China versus Serbia, and the announcer was
China.
Australian.
Wait, was
This
it
is
an Olympic
Serbia.
sport?
Yeah, 3-on-3 basketball
Wait,
is
it's
now
an
a
Olympic.
thing.
Is it
Yeah, it is.
an Olympic sport?
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. I don't understand. Apparently, Serbia is number one. I don't understand why they don't just send NBA players to do 3
know
on
what's-
Skateboarding is an Olympic
weird,
sport.
though.
These Olympics.
Skateboarding should be an Olympic
Yeah.
It
sport.
is. It is. These
Yeah.
Olympics. It is.
No, but I'm saying a lot of people are like, oh, this is one of the. They keep adding sports. How about we fucking remove some of the
Yeah.
dumb ones?
Yeah, but 3-on-3 basketball
today-
is already basketball.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
but-
That's what I have a problem with that. It's
Yeah.
like taking
It
a
doesn't-
part of a and then making it a lesser
Yeah,
game.
sure, but swimming has
It's
fucking
pretty stupid.
100 meters, 200 meters, 400 meters, front crawl, back crawl, fucking
Interesting.
butterfly. So why not
Alright.
make more
Alright.
events?
because there's a chance for a guy to go in there and win all of them. That's
yeah,
why.
yeah. But
Michael
like,
Phelps.
how come they don't have sideways running and backwards running?
Yeah.
Because Usain Bolt would dominate that shit. Oh, he's not going
No,
to.
you
Running
sold-
backwards
you
is an
sold me.
Olympic
I
sport.
like 2-on-3. In
And
fact,
then-
they should have 2-on-2.
Sure, 1-on-1 even.
And
Fuck
people
it.
can fuck turtles. Come on, this is madness.
Yo, why don't we?
Do you
Why
think-
don't we add more sports?
Do you think anyone got more pussy at the Olympics than Usain Bolt?
Probably not. He probably
I don't
gets the
know.
most pussy out of anybody.
Probably gets a ton of pussy.
Just like before that was Phelps.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, dude, if we,
Phelps was getting mad pussy.
so listen, the Olympics is like, it's a big cool thing because like we get to face other countries. But it's like, what happens when the world gets so small, and that's what sports just become fucking naturally. So instead of watching, and like if I'm watching an NFL game in the future, it's gonna be, oh, it's the Chicago Bears versus the Sydney fucking Wallabies, mate, and they fucking. or whatever. Like if baseball gets big enough and there's like a
I understand what
Tokyo,
you're saying. Yeah, that could happen. Sure.
right? And now there's no there's no like it's just stupid. It's just extra stupid shit because
It's been my
see, I
whole
thought
life.
you were-
basically what I'm saying is the Olympics is what sports should just be regularly. It should just be countries competing.
It is what sports are, except if you're American.
Right.
Like for the rest of the world, this is what sports are.
Yeah,
They'll compete
right.
internationally.
Wait.
There's international
Yeah,
competitions.
right.
No, but
Well,
people don't watch. I mean, some people I'm sure do because it's niche. But on TV today, I was watching. They had archery.
right.
Yeah.
And it's these nerdy looking dudes, and they had
Archery's cool.
shooting with like fucking rifles.
Yeah.
Right.
Get rid of that shit. How is that a sport?
How is that a sport?
And then
No,
like
because that's how the Olympics started, was like real world like activities that they practiced.
No, in
Like
ancient
poetry,
Greece they never had a
hunting.
they didn't
shooting.
have guns.
They
in
didn't
ancient
have
No,
Greece.
but they had arrows. They
Yeah,
were doing
sure.
arrows and shit.
Okay,
and
yeah.
they were doing like hunting techniques. They were running.
Yeah.
Like that's why they were
No,
running,
they had
swimming.
poetry.
Spears, javelin.
Yes.
Right?
Sure, no, I get that. Javelin, that's
Shot put.
OG. Running, I get that. But like equestrian, I think that's bogus because the
No,
horse
but-
is doing most of the work. The horse should get the medal.
Yes, but
And if we're gonna do that, why don't we add more animal shit?
The horse should get
Why don't we have like bear fights,
Yeah, but
dog
in-
races, and cock fights?
But-
the
but-
Philippines
Well,
would dominate
they should
that
do
shit.
They should do an animal Olympics is what they
no,
should.
but that's
Right, there you
because
go.
when the
Specifically.
Olympics were brought back, I think early 20th century. I don't know if it was late 19th. Or
Hitler brought
No,
it
it's
back.
French.
Nobody wants.
No,
to
no,
talk
it's
about
French. The French brought it back.
Wait.
Anyway, to get the Olympics back from ancient Greece, like in the modern era, they had who was gonna compete. There was not like democratic people doing sports. It was only rich people could afford to do sports. So what sports did rich people do?
Oh, horse
They were
riding.
Horse riding and badminton. So they put the sports that they were doing to have
Right.
people competing. 'Cause
True.
and then as people started to get more
People
prize,
paid attention to it.
people start training and doing other
Yeah.
sports. They brought back other sports. Right?
See, when you talk about Olympics in the future, this is what I thought you're going to cut out all the sports and just get right to the fucking. So each country sends the most
The best
fuckable, most fuckable, best fucking people, and they just go to the Olympics and everybody just fucks everybody. And they're
That's-
like,
that's
and it's
oh,
on-
this is
and
the
it's on
American
TV.
men versus the Chinese women, and they're like, ah, and they just
A
go
friend
there
of mine,
and
a
fuck.
friend of mine sent me an article that basically the Spain national champion of fucking got arrested from some like battery almost murder by because he was on acid and mushrooms or whatever. And I was
sound
like,
like-
that's
and I was
no
like,
excuse.
this
Yeah.
legend is not in jail.
That doesn't sound like something you do on shrooms.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
On
I
acid
hate.
or
This
whatever it
like FUD against mushrooms.
You know. Just keep going on the Olympics. This is a side issue here, but it's hilarious to me that fucking Taiwan has to be called Chinese Taipei. Like they don't even get to have their own name.
That's what they're called.
Yeah, because of the whole because China's still we're all just pretending that Taiwan is still part of China, but they get just to not hurt China's feelings, and then they get to go to the Olympics as their own country, but they're called Chinese Taipei.
Wow.
Even countries like fucking North Korea, they still get to call themselves. Countries are allowed to call themselves whatever they want.
It's
like
not for-
Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Do you think it's-
it's the North Korea's name?
Right.
Do you think it's not?
PR.
It's not for the rest of the world. It's for the Chinese people, right? It's because they already told their own people like we own those dudes again.
Yeah, they're
And then they can't. And they're like, wait, but it just says Taiwan.
yeah. But it's so funny how the whole world pretends that Taiwan is not a country, not just the
Yeah.
Olympics. Like
Well, no one wants to piss off China. They're
right,
monsters.
exactly.
That's it.
They are,
Yeah.
but we just the entire world just
And I'm
accepts
saying
their
that,
bullshit.
hey, and I'm saying that in like a nice way, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not,
I wonder if the government was just like, you know what, we fucked up. We don't own that country anymore. They just got their own shit going, and then everybody's like, what?
But it's-
like that, 'cause that's what I feel like. It's not like it's like so that they don't look bad in front of their own people.
Right,
Yeah, they don't
but
look
it's
weak.
funny how far they take this like saving face
No, I agree.
concept.
I know what you're saying.
Because if I'm a Chinese dude, not from Taiwan, and I'm watching the Olympics, and I see like, oh, an athlete from Chinese Taipei, he's obviously not on the China team.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here? Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty clear to me that they're a different country.
Well,
So why are we all putting up with this bullshit? Like, why are we playing this game?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm wondering. Is
Well,
like
you're watching
how much is it like? Is it like a Curb Your Enthusiasm, but on a global scale? Like, is it just like something that could have been avoided just by simply being like, or is it like now it's just getting worse and more uncomfortable?
yeah.
I think it's mostly just China.
makes sense.
They're just it's like a power move. They're just like cucking everybody
Well, as a
and going like, you guys play by our rules. You have to pretend that this is the case. It's like a mob boss. Whatever reality he says is what people
if you're watching that as a regular Chinese guy and you see Chinese Taipei, you're just like, those fucking traitors. I don't know. Again, I don't know.
You sounded Mexican there.
See, no, that's what I'm saying. Is from the perspective of the Chinese government or the people who are saying like, oh, we can't do that. Maybe it's not out of like respect or anything. It's just more of like a guys, like we really fucked up here. What if it wasn't as bad as we think it is?
I think it's purely it's a pride thing from China's point of view, and then for everybody else, it's a business decision.
Yeah. Well, I think, dude, it's the same. The thing is, they don't understand that they look dumber by saving face.
Yeah.
They're just admitting the real shit.
But that's why maybe we're all being nice to them. This is what I'm saying. It's like, it's not like, oh, we have to do it because China's saying it. It's like, hey, you know what?
Hey, these guys are idiots. Let's just play along. Fuck it.
Yeah,
we're trying to play badminton here.
Yeah, we're just trying to get. We need to make some.
We're trying to get our fuck on.
We're trying to get our fuck on. This guy bumble fucked his people and just says it. Just like let's just get it over with.
Hey, there's no when the clothes come off, there's no flags anymore. We're just fucking. You know, the other thing I wanted to bring up is there's the first transgender athlete ever competing in the Olympics this year. She's from New Zealand and won in the World Championships and stuff.
Which discipline?
Weightlifting. Heavyweight weightlifting for like the highest weight class.
Wait, what?
And obviously, like a lot of conservatives are annoyed about this. Like this is like red meat for a guy like Ben Shapiro, who cares or at least pretends to care about this.
I love your Ben Shapiro.
Because he's such a man.
I do a Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, you do a pretty good Ben Shapiro.
Well, the thing is,
the thing is here. I don't know. You set me up, and I'm going to fail.
But he's upset.
But no, so he's upset because the trans athlete is going to participate.
Did you already address this, or you just said
no? Like all the conservative media are talking about this, and women's weightlifting is so far down on the list of who gives a fuck sports. I mean, it sucks for the other women who have to compete against this trans woman. Like you see in the World Championships, she's all happy, like on the top of the podium, and then in the World Championships, then the second place and third place girls are kind of like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
but where I'm trying to get with this is, if trans women are allowed to participate in the Olympics, how come Thailand doesn't dominate? Why not just send all the trans women and then just be like, oh, Pong boy, tang day, and the lady boys just crushing smashes.
Well, that's proof that women can compete on a better level because maybe they don't, you know?
Yeah. Well, I guess because they're doing other things.
You're saying Thai lady boys are going and just crush.
They're just dominating the Olympics.
They would totally crush, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why we're not doing that. We should. That should be our number one export.
It's not like I see a lady boy skateboarding down the street, though.
Not
it's not like I see them playing badminton or soccer. You just see this beautiful lady kick a goal. And they were like, "What's up? Yeah, you did it." No, you don't see that.
But what I'm saying is they should. They should.
Oh, right. Sure.
Because they all have other occupations, right? Although when my brother lived here, he plays volleyball, and in Thailand, volleyball is like a girl sport for some reason. And they played a team of trans women, and the trans women dominated.
Yeah.
See how I didn't say lady boy once?
Crushed, dude. That's
Except
amazing.
right now.
You ever seen lady
I
boys
would
play
be
basketball?
pissed. I would be pissed. Like it's one of the few things I agree with on the conservative end. But if I was married to a woman who was a weightlifter and she came in second place to a transgender person, I'd be like, fuck that lady.
Yeah, fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
Fuck that
and
bitch.
if I had or a daughter and she was trained her whole life, and then I respect the woman's decision to find herself, but she doesn't have to identify as a weightlifter.
Yeah.
You know? Like she
But why can't she just
as much as she can't not identify as a woman, she has that choice to not take away somebody else's.
Well, this is kind of
But why
similar
would
to
you
the
just
Chinese Taipei thing. Because we're just kind of, it's for like, oh, well, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings here. So go ahead and beat all of the women who were born women. And we're going to pretend like this is not weird.
To be honest, I don't, it's so not, I wish I didn't have to talk about it. But
the thing is, when people first started like getting surgery and becoming transsexual and stuff like that, there was a guy. He's like, oh, but what if they become a woman weightlifter? And someone's like, that'll never happen.
Yeah, now
and
it's
now it
happened.
happened,
Yeah.
and no one's ready to talk about it.
Right.
And
And the guy's like 80 years old. And
it's like, oh, we had like 40 years.
I told you.
We had 40 years to talk about this, or 20 years. I don't know how many years.
Like Lex was saying,
I don't know.
If I had a daughter or my wife or whatever or somebody, but I honestly could care less about women's weightlifting. So I just think it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
Like, why not have more trans people in the Olympics?
But here's the
Yeah,
thing.
but on
like,
the other hand,
so selfish.
yeah, but on
it-
the other
it is-
hand,
it's
so
yes, exactly.
yes, but if you had a boy and he was a weightlifter,
I would want him to be trans so he could win.
No, wait.
If I had a boy,
If you had a boy and he was a
he
weightlifter,
loved weightlifting,
and he came back
also
with a second.
identified as a woman.
No. If it was a boy, was identified as a boy, was just a boy,
Okay.
and he came in second place at a weightlifting competition because he was beaten by a trans man.
But what's
That-
but
that-
here's the
what do
thing.
you say?
But that doesn't happen though.
But here's
That's
the thing.
But
never-
what if it did though?
But it's never.
But it
going
will.
to
But
That
it
would be
will.
funny, though.
Just
No,
like that
but
guy
it-
said
it
about
will
the
never
the
happen.
Because good for that. You're saying so that
Would
a
you then
woman-
be angry at that trans man?
No, because
or,
she's not restrained. She overcame physical limitations that were born
Yeah.
into her. You know,
It's never going to happen. I'm pretty confident.
it could
that
happen. Just
well,
like
like
with
with
some shitty competition.
Yeah, but
But
what
in
I'm
the
saying is that
world
if you had a
class,
boy and he came second, then I
to a
would probably make
transgender,
fun of him.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's
Someone
that's
born a woman.
transphobic.
No, but it's funny because it'd be his son.
You got beat by a dude with a pussy.
Well, here's the thing. What's wrong with just being the best trans in the world? What's wrong with that title? What's wrong with like I'm the
Because
strongest
they don't have
trans?
separate
But here's the
competitions.
thing. But, okay, I'm just gonna compete, take my score, and any trans person that wants to fucking challenge my score can have at it. But I'm the best in the world right now.
All right.
The only way the
For my
debate,
for
the
my
only way,
lane, for my lane.
But that's why it's
let me
not.
throw this by you, Chris. All right.
Yeah.
You got a female pole vaulter, right?
Right.
A transgender pole vaulter, and she goes right over the pole, and her dick hits. Do we all have to just ignore that the dick knocked off?
Well,
the
because
pole?
that would make
Well,
her
she'd have to
lose.
do it again.
That would make her lose. No,
She gets
that's a
mulligan.
fault.
She gets a mulligan.
You got to get your whole body over,
Yeah.
including your
No,
dick.
including your dick.
no, but you can touch the
Oh, sure, but you can't knock it over.
If you
can
knock
knock
it
it
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
No, but
mean-
he's saying knock it over.
But it's all zoomed in.
Yeah, and you see just the
Is that
gauntlet
like
balls.
No, but the only way the debate ends is if there was like no gender per discipline. It's like everybody.
Yeah, just
and
whoever's
that's
the
it.
best.
Whoever's the best.
Yeah, that's called the men's category.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know, but then
Yeah, that's it.
yeah,
the
exactly.
Whole,
so,
the whole point
So
of
either-
having a women's separate thing is because the dudes are better at it. It's-
Right.
Well, you could have sports like probably
That's
like
exactly
archery.
right.
No,
Like,
not dudes are better at that
You know what
too.
I'm saying? Dude, but there's chicks that like can do handstands and shoot with their fucking feet.
Yeah, so can dudes would do it better. Some dudes.
No, I don't. I bet you in a no. I bet
Not-
you the
not-
which
not that I
sport?
could do it
The-
better,
I bet
but-
you. All right, so archery,
I
where the chick.
guarantee the disciplines that a woman can do it just as equal as men. They're already in. They don't need
Okay.
to separate them.
I think that there's a guy out there. Or I'm sorry, there's
And
a
I
woman.
don't know if there even is any of that because even things like
Shooting,
pool or
yeah.
darts or whatever,
Yep.
it's the dude physiology and brain
Yeah.
is just better at like spatial analysis and shit like that.
Yep.
And it comes from thousands of years of like hunting buffalo and
Right,
shit.
but it's not. But okay. So think about. But what about the spatial ability, like pick berries and shit? Like, isn't that that's a thing,
Yeah.
right? Wouldn't they evolve from the same kind of?
But then a dude would train at
maneuvers?
it and be better at it.
be psychotically training at it for
Yeah.
years, just like I'm gonna beat
Okay.
all these women.
But think about
Like,
this.
until they make ruining a good time in Olympic sport.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
But
Cut
one,
that
but
out.
one, but woman.
It's so hard not
no,
to
no,
be
no,
sexist.
no, that's
It's
fine.
not.
Yeah. Listen. But women,
Just to make
but
you guys laugh.
I would say that women stand a better chance of competing.
Yo, if
in
there was
it.
like a passive aggressiveness competition, if there was like a bullying but not physical bullying, if there was
No,
like
we
an
guys would still win that.
No, but excluding your friend and like spreading rumors about her that she's ugly.
rumor spreader.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally. They would take the gold.
Yeah.
They would take gold. But what else? I think. Okay, so what about like all right, so sports like archery, sports like
Archery,
Even shit like curling, the dudes are better
well,
at.
because they're faster and quicker and like you know.
But like,
Quick twitch.
Well, all right,
Fast twitch.
but think about
Fast twitch.
all right, how fast is the fastest woman on earth?
she's like, no, I don't think
How-
any woman
how-
has ever gone under 10 seconds for the 100.
How does she compare? How does she compare to
Jackie
Usain?
Trainer Kersey go under 10, but they'll be
All right.
out of
So
line.
who's faster? Fucking like
I don't know.
Jackie Joyner Kersey.
is the fastest person on earth a man or a woman?
It's a dude.
By how much? You know,
Miles.
by like a couple of seconds.
it's not by miles. No way.
But by like she'd be at the
It's a
50-meter mark, and
cartoon
it would be ridiculous.
It'd be like
No
you
way.
racing the guy.
What
Yeah.
distance? What
It'd
distance?
be like me.
100 meters.
So basically,
100
Justin,
meters, yeah,
do you think as an average man you could go into any women's competition in the Olympics and do good?
No, I would get my ass kicked. So that's how we kind of save this here because we're going to sound like sexist. But
Right, they would
I'll admit,
they would kick our ass.
any good woman who's good at
almost
anything
any sport.
will be better than me.
Yes.
Like I was watching the 3-on-3 basketball, and it was China versus Serbia, and the Chinese women. I was like, these chicks are really fucking good at basketball. I would be useless out there, but the dudes are just way better.
Yeah.
Like, I played hockey when I was 16. I played at the highest level. And the women's national team practices against dudes who are like 16.
Okay.
Because it's kind of equivalent talent level.
Seriously.
Yeah. Like, they're more organized. They have better coaching. They have better training and everything.
But just the
the pure, like, shoulder strength of dudes and
the
just the speed. Yeah.
What about like bowling?
endurance.
Even that.
What about like? I'm gonna name a bunch of sports. Tell
Yeah.
me who's better, men or women.
It's always, the answer's always going to be men.
What about like darts or some shit?
Yeah, already.
Man.
Or like horseshoes.
Men.
Fucking sewing, dude.
Dude,
Probably
even,
men.
even when
A
the
gay guy,
athlete
totally.
is the horse,
Okay.
how many female jockeys do you see?
Dude, dude.
How
Wait,
many
wait.
female car racers?
Wait. But
In horse racing, are they guys or
Are the
girls?
horses male or female though?
Yo.
They have their own races.
Right, they're
And
separate
that's not a
categories.
joke. No, they do. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
And
What?
are the male horses faster?
Yeah.
I think there's a probably
That's-
Because now we're not talking about humans anymore, so it doesn't matter. Because like lions, like okay, so the lionesses do all the hunting.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the dudes are not as good at hunting.
Right.
Because they're just having like dick measuring contests
Yeah.
to see who gets to
Yeah, but
fuck
a male lion
So
would
if-
destroy a
if-
female lion.
So
in
if
a fight, yeah,
if
but not at
female-
hunting.
If female lions had a dart throwing contest, they'd be better at it than the male lions.
No, probably not.
But think about this.
They're better hunting.
But think about an animal Olympics where there's female lions versus tiger lions or female tigers.
Tiger lions.
So like during the Olympic, for opening ceremony, it's like all the animals parade out, all the different types of animals parade out, and fucking
Chris's Disney World movie.
yeah, totally. Well, yeah, totally. That'd be
Disney
amazing.
movie world.
Right. So all these animals parade out like it's the fucking Olympics, and they
it
represent
is
their
the Olympics.
species. It is Olympics,
But they're
it's the
totally
animal
different
Olympics.
species.
Right, but they compete. But they still compete.
But
to
how
see
can
who's
you
the
like
best.
so in the 100 meters race you're gonna have birds and
Cheetahs- the
mammals
cheetahs
and
would win.
Cheetahs,
fish?
rabbits, right? You have cheetahs, but who knows? But in the long distance race, maybe like a horse would win or some shit, right? The horses or the whatever. the
We're
fuck.
back to this again, aren't we?
Animals. Yeah, dude. And
Animals
like there could
being
be
like
there could
people.
be fencing and like okay, so like this
Swordfish.
this I don't know, or an ostrich could race. I don't know, whatever they want. They're animals, and elephants could be like the bodybuilders and shit. Like they need
I don't think you could tell the animals like, hey, look, listen, you're in a weightlifting competition.
And they can fight
What
each
if,
other.
what if an elephant identified as a mouse? Would it be able to go do a mouse competition?
No,
If it could qualify,
Why not?
yeah, because
No.
it's trans species.
no, I can't. because
So
it's
Chris,
not a
in
mouse.
Chris's mind here, you could have.
Are you being
Okay, look,
species
Chris
phobic?
is just so
No.
homophobic.
right? Even when it's
Absolutely not.
even when it's
Yeah,
mice.
State of the species.
Yeah. So wait, so you're okay. So
Right.
there's all the lions, and they're the lion team, and
Right,
they go
the
there.
lions.
And then next up
Yeah.
is like
from the country of lions.
yeah, from the
Right.
country of
Well, they're just all the lions on
lion.
Earth. All the lions.
And then all the antelopes come in, and they're all like, ugh.
yeah, but they're like like looking around and like, oh
And,
no.
and then you don't imagine that how are the animals going to be organized
Well, hopefully
enough
at this
to do
point,
an
at
opening
the
ceremony?
point, at the
Do
point
you
where they're
think in
evolved
the
enough.
It's going to be the monkey from Lion King.
See, you're doing this again
But
with the
thing is,
dinosaurs
if
last
they're,
time.
But
Do you
they're,
think-
if they're evolved enough, then they wouldn't have
No.
these beefs.
Okay, look, lions are perfect lions. More evolved lions, they don't become more like
They've
people
trained
and then
best
start
lions.
doing the Olympics.
No, but listen.
But do you think in the Olympic village the lions would be trying to eat the antelope?
Yes, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
no, but at that point, if they're evolved to the point where there's an Olympics, they're evolved past the point of eating each other randomly.
So you're talking about like Zootopia.
Yeah, totally. 100% Utopia. But
You do this every podcast. You make animals into people.
well, that's what they are, kind of.
No, they're fucking animals.
They're kind of like
Well,
people.
I disagree with that.
Well, we're animals too, but we're
Yes.
different animals.
Right, you're
We
part
have
of that
Olympics.
Isn't it amazing how much easier it is that we can put human characteristics on animals and assume how they think, but yet we can't even understand how we think when we actually think like animals?
Whoa.
Dude.
Deep,
I've
bro.
been smoking a lot.
Yeah.
So
That's the weed talking.
Wait.
That's so true, dude.
So you don't think I can imagine you acting like a horse right now?
No, I'm saying like when we do things that are more characteristic of animals, like ignoring a good decision and going
jerk
home
off.
with that woman,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of shit, right? Where you just like, or you just like, I don't know, fucking steal something or do some fucking primal shit, you know. That's not in your best interest, but you just have this impulse to do.
All right, so check it out. So this Animal Olympics. All right, so we're gonna change it up,
That's
right?
better.
So
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of competing,
Go back to that.
instead of competing human sports, we're just gonna fight each other, basically,
Okay.
and that's it.
That would be fun to
They just
watch.
beat the shit
That's
out of
called
each
the
other.
Coliseum.
But the thing is, we can actually
We can
organize
organize
that.
it.
Yo, I feel like
We can do that.
I feel like we're pitching an idea in ancient Rome. Like, yo, we
Yeah.
should have an animal Olympics.
Well, they've done that.
Yeah,
No, but I mean, like every single animal competes.
I'm sure they did that.
Do you think so?
Too. Yeah, they're like chicken.
Like we
versus
got every
elephant.
animal
They're like,
on the fucking
But
in the world.
But an
competing.
elephant, it'd be pretty hard to convince an elephant to fight a rabbit.
No, but you just leave them together.
Well,
long enough.
they would just hang out and they'd be
just
fine.
eating, looking for food.
Yeah, they would just leave each other
Well,
alone.
they would have to be like.
So we gotta get them
prodded
to
into
fight.
getting to fight.
So it's got to be predators.
It's gotta be predators. Totally, yeah, totally gotta be
And
predators.
then, so the cheetah's just gonna run away from the lion forever, and nothing's gonna happen.
But it would be different. It would be like, all
So
right,
it's gonna be a really small ring.
so since gazelles can't protect themselves, it'd be like 5 gazelles and one.
So we
tiger.
make it even.
Yeah, we even out.
Yeah,
the
like
odds.
a pack of dogs versus a bear.
Yeah,
Because
right,
they did
perfect.
do that in ancient Rome.
Yeah, they do that like dude, today on TikTok I see a wild boar being bitten by like 20 dogs. They still do that actually. But that's like a hunting. It's a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing with
And
your
they're like-
TikTok
they're like-
time, but this is
Yeah,
scary.
he's in the dark
No,
corners of TikTok.
Seriously,
here.
and there's like,
I
dude,
thought it was Chinese girls dancing and stuff. You're watching a boar and dog
yeah,
fight.
dude, I've seen this, and like it's funny because like there's a tiny ass dog. They're like fucking. It's like 20 cocker spaniels basically hunting down a fucking boar, and they're all biting at it, and they're winning. They're kicking the shit out of this thing. They're winning.
Well, yeah,
against
they
this
got
boar.
numbers.
I saw a shit
Right.
ton of dog, like soy dog type dogs, and they were yoking a leopard.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucked
That
up.
makes sense.
Yeah, dude.
I thought for a minute there, I thought you meant like you saw that like on Sukhumvit.
Oh no, but I saw it on TikTok. Best TikTok video I've ever seen was this dog. He was like about this big, like maybe 30 pounds or something, and he was walking real weird because he had a chicken stuck to his dick, and from behind the chicken just dragging from behind, just walking behind him,
Oh my
facing
God.
the other way.
Oh, because he fucked the chicken?
Yeah, and his dick
Oh, yeah.
got stuck
I think
inside
I've
the
seen-
How
chicken.
embarrassing.
No, I've seen two
How
dogs.
embarrassing, yes. The dog was
That
embarrassed.
dog's like,
Chris.
oh my god.
He's like, oh, I'm going to definitely get kicked off the Olympic team now. The scandal.
The dog's like Sha'Carri Richardson or whatever. This dog doesn't get to compete in the Olympics. He's got a 1 month ban because he fucked his
Fuck
chicken.
the chicken. Dude, I don't know, man. I feel like in another, I don't know. Who knows? If humans didn't exist, who knows what kind of nonsense?
They wouldn't have Olympics.
Dude, they might though. And here's the thing: even if we could give them an Olympics, dude, we can make this happen for the animals.
Sure.
We can
They
make
wouldn't
them-
want it to happen though.
Can you try to put on a comedy show first?
Think about this: imagine if you had every animal in the world,
Ooh.
and you lined up. Fuck you, Rick. And they. I think here's what I think we should do.
All right, there's an alien that comes down, and you
Check it out.
are going to show him all the animals.
Right,
Is
well,
that what you're
here's
doing?
what
You
we're
all
doing.
line them up.
I'm gonna line them all up, and I'm gonna put a mirror, and every animal has to go in front of this mirror and realize itself. And if it doesn't,
Self-recognition.
and if it doesn't, we eat it. We get to eat it, and it's not part of the Olympics.
Okay.
Right.
So only like gorillas and chimpanzees,
Right, octopuses.
they recognize themselves.
Fucking, yeah, maybe. I think gorillas recognize themselves. They each get a minute in front of a mirror. Every animal gets a representative.
And what do they got to do to make it prove to you that it recognizes it?
They
Be
have to, like-
yeah.
They have to look at it like fix its
Nice
fur.
try.
Start licking their balls.
Like touch their teeth. I don't know, clean their teeth,
And
play with their balls.
whoever
fucking-
passes that test
Stick a
gets
finger in their ass?
they don't have like qualifying events
Yeah,
and stuff.
so like a chicken would never be in the Olympics. All right?
No.
Not in my Olympics.
So, why? Do you think
Because
a chicken
they're
doesn't know what a chicken is?
Yeah, I
The
don't think
fucking
chickens.
That's
Chickens
why,
don't. Here's the thing: if a chicken looked in a mirror
Yeah.
and realized it was a chicken,
Chickens are not that stupid.
then maybe they
They're
would
not
pass my
smart
mirror
enough
test.
to be in Chris's Olympics.
But
though.
would they pass the mirror test? Is what I'm saying. All right, and even some cats would fail the mirror test.
But what?
now,
What
that
sport are those chickens doing that they need to do that test to know if they can compete? Because there's plenty of events in the Olympics.
Cockfighting, obviously.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, but cocks are fighting already without doing the
Yeah,
mirror test.
but now we put it in the Olympics.
Now they're doing skydiving. I mean,
Hockey,
chicken doing
snowboarding.
hockey.
That was the Summer Olympics. They're doing
So like,
Chris, how do you feel about children when they first see their shadow? You ever see a kid recognize their shadow for the first time?
Like, how old is this kid?
Like a 3 or 4 year old.
Oh,
Or in
I
your
was thinking like an
case,
11-year-old.
I've never seen this, but do they
I've never
trip
seen
out?
that.
Yeah, they'll freak out.
Huh. Stupid.
what, you never played with your own shadow?
Is that a real thing?
I don't remember. I'm sure I did.
I remember playing with my own shadow.
What, as like a couple of weeks ago, or like?
No, like as a kid, I would just like be in
shadow.
the sun, like in summer or whatever, and
Sometimes
be like
you
have a
just
strong
all of a sudden
shadow, and be like
recognize-
doing shapes and stuff.
I've
and-
definitely done the thing where like you stand and then like make a fake dick. And then
Yeah,
go,
totally.
Yeah.
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Or it'd be like, oh, look,
But
it's
that's
super
totally,
long
but
now,
that's
or it's
but that's
short
not
now.
that's totally different from an animal seeing itself in the mirror and being I am of the chicken. I am Clarence of the chickens, and I'm blah blah blah. And this is my mother and my father, and I was born in this area
in 1982.
in
and
1982, and fucking yeah, exactly.
he's gonna go apply for a
My
driver's license.
my
now.
great grandpa was from France, and she was a French hen or whatever. I don't fucking know.
So Cornish hen.
A Cornish hen, yeah,
She came to America in a cage.
yeah, exactly.
Yo, chickens are definitely.
Like I feel like they're like, but an elephant, for instance, you could. I feel like an elephant would. An elephant looks in the mirror and it sees itself and it's like, yeah, this is me.
Elephants are pretty smart like
Shit.
that, right?
Obviously, this is me. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow. Same with whales. Same with and I don't know what's the mirror. What baboons? I think baboons can recognize themselves, and so can chimps and jaguars.
Now
Yeah,
you're
but you
just-
even said like there's some cats.
It's just
that'll be
listing
like,
animals right now.
Like
Yeah.
my
Just
dog,
saying.
I had a dog. He was a French bulldog. They're not even known to be smart, but I felt like he was a smart dog. He walked up to a mirror and was just like, even when a puppy, he was just like, I don't give a fuck about this mirror. He didn't care.
Yeah, he should have
You
been
know,
food.
He,
Yeah,
yeah. And it wasn't. There was no. He just. Yeah, this is a mirror. That's what he thought. It's a mirror. Like that doesn't mean that he is worthy
bad
of
dog.
Olympics.
Yeah.
He's,
no, but he did he recognize that he was what he was?
Yeah. Well, he didn't. You know. He
Did he-
didn't, you know when he. I remember he wrote me a letter when he got accepted into college, and he was like, you know, the day you put that mirror to me,
That's retarded.
it's like I didn't even know myself.
Exactly.
That's when I was inspired to follow my dreams.
Yeah.
And that's when I really buckled down and started studying math.
He works for
Right.
Tesla now. I don't know what he's doing. We don't keep in touch as much
He
anymore.
overcame the challenge of being a dog in a human world.
Right.
He invented opposable thumbs for dogs to put on their hands so they can
That's
now
weird.
text.
That's weird.
Yet he'd still never text me.
Animals are a trip, dude.
So he doesn't appreciate what you did for him.
You know what I think? So, you know how all so we're sentient life. So like we're sentient life, and
You mean us
maybe
most life?
right. Yeah. So as no, not yeah. So
No, but he means
like on a different level.
No, he's
Are we?
Okay.
like self-awareness.
Yeah.
That's
How
what
do you know
he's-
the other ones don't have self-awareness?
They
He
are.
hasn't read
Here's the
those
thing.
books
They are self-aware, but it's not to our level. You know, they have a lower sense of.
He hasn't read
How
those
do you
books
know?
yet.
They have a
You
lower
get into
rate
a
of it.
philosophical
We
question,
don't. We don't. But check it out.
Yeah,
Check it out.
but
Check it
mine.
out. Here's what I'm trying to explain. So
Because I've been thinking about.
So think about this. So think about the first cell on Earth. Think about the first cell that began all life on Earth.
Sure.
Right. So this was a sentient thing and knew what was happening. And
What?
then it split, and then it
Single
split,
cell.
multiplied. Right. And some split, and they
There's sentient
became.
life.
They
You don't
became-
sound very sentient
But
right
they
now.
became more sentient than others. You know what I mean? So like the things that didn't
How do
become
you know?
because I
Have
don't
you
know,
ever,
or maybe
have you ever
maybe
been
they
an
are.
animal? Have you ever been looked up? Have you ever observed
Have you
animals?
ever been an animal? No.
Because I've been thinking about this lately. Like,
But they-
so we're all stuck at home, right? So I'm stuck in my apartment all day long, and on my balcony there's plants, and I've got a bunch of birds that are nesting or living in front of my house, and I just watch birds all day long, different species of birds, like I regularly see about the same birds, about 6 different species. They're talking to each other.
Yeah.
They're inspecting the neighborhood. They know who they are. They know that's another species. They know which other species they have to like be careful for. They're like watching out. With the females have a role, the males have a role. Like they're completely sentient.
They're city birds.
They're communicating. They're not just like food. They're actually
Yeah.
But that-
there's a difference
between-
rationale.
right, but it's
I see them
right,
like
but
being
they're not-
cozy with each other. I see
Sure.
I see pigeons and doves like hanging out as a couple and just walking around as a couple. For real, I've watched this with my own eyes.
Sure. But
think about
they're not operating on the same level that we are. It's not
No, but maybe
They're
they
not-
are.
They're not aware that they're going to die someday.
I think they are.
They don't
Of
know
course they
that.
are. Most dogs are aware of
No,
death, for example.
I don't think they're aware that they're going to die. They're
they
just
are.
aware that they could die, or that. And I also don't even think that they're aware of the actual thing of death.
They're just afraid of pain.
Pain.
Yeah. So
I
they're
don't
operating
agree
on
with that.
instinct.
How do cats know that their owners are going to die soon? Then
Right. But
Do
That's
they?
different.
They smell it. Yeah, they
That's
smell
different
shit.
than themselves knowing.
That's
But they
their-
know, they know. Like I had a dog that knew when it was going to die. It stopped moving, stopped doing
Yeah.
shit. It was just hanging out under a table for like 3 months.
That's more than
Yeah, but
dogs.
then
So I waited for 3 months.
Why don't people then?
yeah, then it died.
Yeah, but why don't people then? It's evolutionary. It needed to, because what does it do? It finds itself a nice dark corner to go and die in, so that it doesn't get the rest of the pack sick. So it just goes off. And
That's
dies.
what my dog did when
And
I was like 7.
Yeah, it just goes and removes the disease
Into
and
bushes.
dysfunction. It goes
I found its body in bushes.
off. It's not like oh man, everybody's gonna be so. I don't want them to see me shit
Mine
myself.
did it in the middle of the living
You
room.
know,
I didn't
it'll be
hide
so
it.
No,
embarrassing.
but think about this. All sentient. All right, so I want you to just imagine. So we all came from somewhere. Everything is from something.
Okay.
Okay. So everything nothing is just fucking out of nowhere. Everything came from something. All of us came from something. Our conscience, our sentience came from something as well. So imagine if this first cell of life, that thing that contains sentience, that was brought to Earth on a meteor, right? And it was frozen in ice on a meteor. It crashed on Earth. It melted, and then it became the base of all life, all sentience, basically. But it got divided. But basically, we stem from. I don't know how we got more. Maybe we don't have more than others. Maybe we have exactly the same amount of sentience as everything else that came from this cell, right? Because we have to. But we have like the maximum ability and capability, basically.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
We have the maximum amount of the abilities that we have.
But we have the maximum
Because
amount. We can express
fill
it.
a space
but we-
in the world.
We
But
can
you're
express.
basing
We
your-
can
We're
we can-
exploiting resources in a way that we evolved to do.
But your whole
Yeah,
theory
that doesn't
of
make us
life,
better.
we get to
Yes.
express it. We find we express it better than say a fucking cat does.
Sure, but
We
they
express our
but they
sentience
cat
better.
better than we can.
But
Yeah,
what-
they
but
can
what
express
makes you-
cat emotions
but what
better
makes-
than we can, and they can talk cat better than humans
Yeah.
can talk.
Right.
But what makes you think that all
But-
life traces down to the same single cell when there's clear evidence there's a
But
bunch
then
of
maybe-
different cells
then maybe
operating at
it's
the
not.
same time?
Then maybe it's
And
not.
different
Well,
branches
he's
of
just
nature.
going from the logic of evolution. If you go back far enough, every life,
Right.
whatever.
But more than one.
no, but
meteor-
all life
doesn't-
on Earth would descend from a common ancestor.
No, it
by
doesn't.
the logic
No,
of
it
evolution.
doesn't.
Does it
It
not?
doesn't.
No,
No,
right.
that's-
Here's the thing.
they're not
Then,
thinking
then maybe other things come from other cells trapped in other ice meteors that hit Earth from other planets.
Well,
that-
I'm just trying to see
you know
if
what I'm
we're
saying?
talking about the same thing.
Yeah, it's a new.
I don't know. But my point is that he has his whole theory of sentience and blah blah blah. That's
Well, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about
Me
yet,
neither.
but-
But it starts at a single cell. Where I'm like, life didn't start at a single point. There's a multiple points that generated life.
Yeah, well, what was the first one?
In-
What's the
in
first
different
one?
locations.
What was the first one?
Doesn't matter. If the first one was 100 million years before the second one, but they never connected to each other, and they started at a different point in Earth.
Well, we don't.
well,
but
that's-
we don't
that's-
know that, do we?
But say there's also
Nobody
one,
knows anything.
By the way,
Well, no, there's a
But
bunch of
what I'm
shit that
saying
we
is
know.
he has a huge assumption there that to me makes no sense.
But I'm saying-
knowing how things go, right?
Uh-huh.
Something happened a billion times and didn't actually click the right way, right? And if that's happening, that means that there's multiple things happening all the time. So it's not just one that's going to happen. It'll happen once, and maybe it'll last for a half a second, and one will last for long. You know, it just keeps extending like that. Does that make sense? So at a certain point, the thin line between what is life and what isn't is so minuscule at that point. Just like when you're looking for like a missing link.
But here's the thing: life started on Earth because so here's the thing: if you look down in the soil, right, you'll see levels. You'll see like 20 levels of life, and then there's a level where there's no life, and then you go down into mantle and fucking the Earth's inner core and shit like that, right? So, at right before that, you have
Liquid hot
the
magma.
first signs of life on Earth are little tiny microscopic single-cell organisms that came here on meteors from other planets.
Well,
basically.
wait.
But you don't know that.
Yeah,
but whatever. But let's just accept that
here's the
assumption.
thing. There's nothing, and then all of a sudden there's life.
Okay,
Boom.
speed
And it's
ahead
like
to
that.
the point.
So the theory, the best theory in science right now is that they were frozen on a meteor that hit Earth,
Okay.
Right? So
He's
there's
talking about panspermia.
So with Rick, yeah, totally. So with Rick, so maybe if there's different cells, that means there's different. We got shit from different parts of the universe basically that hit our planet. Luckily, but that's also like the odds of that happening are astronomical. Unless because we're basically there was a fragment of a planet that hit our planet and gave us life basically.
Okay.
So that means that there was life like this somewhere else in the universe before.
Sure.
Or somewhere else, totally.
Yeah.
And
And life like this in wherever else it landed. That
yeah,
was
exactly.
Okay, and
totally, dude.
Okay, but what's the
Well,
other
I'm saying
hand?
so it's the building block of all life is that little cell, that little sentience. So there's something on else. So what I'm saying is it's this if that's true, then that what we experience is kind of like.
So now throw this because I don't think you like. If you threw humans on, if we grew up on, say we could live on the moon. Right?
Maybe they evolved differently,
yeah,
but
that's what I was
but
gonna
their
say.
idea, but the idea of them being able to talk to themselves and think abstractly. I can think about yesterday or tomorrow.
That only comes with the space too. That's when you know. That only comes with ideal space as well. I think it becomes when you talk about birds flying around and all that shit.
But
I just think that they're only thinking about not getting eaten. Like
I don't agree with
not
that.
Or
getting hurt.
fucking
When I observe their behavior, when I look at what they're doing, because I see them just hanging out on the branches and through my window, they're not worried about that. They're having domestic fights. They're having like day-to-day shit going on. It's not just like I'm afraid of dying right now at all times.
I'm sure that there's some peace, but they're also not thinking like, oh man, Steve is
No, they
looking
are.
at me weird.
Why wouldn't they?
It's not
But now you're doing what
What-
Chris is doing.
No, but
you're
like
like
what-
projecting, you're anthropomorphizing, you're projecting your own feelings onto the birds, and that's just not how they roll.
not projecting my feelings. I'm observing their behavior, okay, through the lenses of a human, sure, but I can see that there's more to what it seems that there would be more to what they're doing. Like, for example, I woke up one morning and on the rooftop that's above in front of my balcony, which is lower than my balcony, I could see two birds just hanging out in the sun as a couple and just chilling and cozying up and like necking each other and just like giving them each other comfort.
Sure.
That's not like I need food right now. They were just like chilling. So they were doing stuff, and I see this all day long.
Even just using the verb comfort, like giving each other comfort.
Well, I use a human language to
Exactly.
describe
Exactly.
things.
But,
Like,
this
yes,
but
sure.
this bird's also like looking at you inside. Like, what's this motherfucker in this
Yeah,
house
they
doing?
are.
He's like, who's this motherfucker
This
looking
guy
at me?
again?
Yeah,
This
some of
motherfucker.
them don't care that I'm inside the apartment. Other
Yeah.
ones just freak out the moment I move.
Yeah.
I think
So-
animals. I think all animals basically have the ability to kind of like. They have like our vision. They look at someone and they see kind of what we see, maybe.
Yeah, they have senses.
Yeah, but
They don't even see the world the way you see it, with
Maybe.
colors.
Yeah, think about
and
this.
different,
Have
yeah.
you ever seen?
length
Have you
and
ever seen
spatially?
Have you ever seen like someone goes to war and comes back and like their dog like figures out who they are and gets
Sure.
all excited and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, or like, have you seen that movie? There's a lion. and a
Yeah,
guy.
and the lion's all happy.
Right. So imagine that's like you seeing a guy you haven't seen in 40 years.
Yeah.
Or some shit.
Hey, yo.
That's like, oh, dude, I remember this fucking guy. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, what's up, man? Like, that's their.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
But
don't
like on
forget.
a lion level.
Yeah, on a lion level. Because the lion's probably like, okay, look, I'm gonna eat this motherfucker. Then he's like,
Oh, wait, is that Steve?
Is that fucking? Oh shit, what's up, man? I remember
Yeah.
you from my childhood.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Something about. Yeah.
I'm still gonna eat you, just
Right, and that's
not on
that's the
camera.
only reason these rich Arab motherfuckers get to have like pet cougars and shit, and like tigers and
Yeah, like a cheetah in the front
Lions.
seat of your Lamborghini.
right. They have like
That's why those guys are so
6
rich,
lions.
but they can't really fuck or anything. So that's why they have to do
Yeah,
all
those
these
guys
other
are
weird
weird.
hobbies.
Every time I see a
Why
rich,
can't they fuck?
Well, they can, but it's just
they can't get.
they can only fuck the women are oppressed there to a point where you can't just go to the club and try to pick up chicks.
Yeah.
You have to get her to become one of your wives.
Something
So
like
young, rich Arab dudes,
No,
they don't have opportunities to socialize with women that aren't in their family.
Young rich Arab dudes
Or they
are
go-
probably going to a club
sure,
and
they-
socializing and getting pussy all day long.
Oh, yeah.
That's
No,
a bunch of
sure.
it.
Oh, of
they
course.
just have to go to a place where it's not throwing it in the face of their families.
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
that's
sure,
it.
but a lot of them have to be discreet about that, and
Maybe, yeah.
Sure.
they don't have as many opportunities, maybe.
And there's probably a lot of underground shit.
They
So-
probably have more than any of us here right now.
Oh, 100%.
Probably, yeah.
Totally. And that's in Arabic cultures. You just basically you buy a hookah or a shisha, and then you invite a chick over probably.
No, you don't. You can't do that.
You just spit game and do your thing.
Their parents would be there too, and it would be like a weird, like arranged thing with chaperones.
Game, and then someone brings out a platter of like kebab meat and shit, and you just
that part is sick.
And then you watch fucking football or whatever. You watch some guy with a Fly Emirates.
They watch the execution.
Chris knows exactly. He's right. Chris is right.
Yeah, exactly. They ball like that. Who knows?
Yeah, let's say that Chris is right with whatever idea that Chris has.
Yeah, we're the same as dogs and cats.
Yeah, so the Olympics.
Basically, what I'm saying is life is the same. Life is life.
But the funny thing about the Olympics,
life is life.
If humans competed against animals in the Olympics, we would get our asses handed.
No, because they're not organized enough to know that it's a race or a shot put or a hockey game.
We would still lose. There's just there's no race that we're winning against.
Okay, look.
Not fencing.
Yeah.
Like mice are running faster.
Or archery.
Oh yeah, archery.
Archery, dude.
You know, we would dominate.
Yeah, archery, sure.
And you can't, like, a cheetah
Swimming?
would beat...
Diving.
Yeah, but the
You're
dolphin...
gonna beat a dolphin?
No, you're
An
not.
elephant's
No,
gonna
swimming.
Salmon? A
Yeah,
salmon?
but no. But I get to pick who I'm beating. Like, I'm gonna if I'm
A horse?
If I'm swimming, I'm gonna swim against like
Rhinos swim very fast.
a poodle.
Yeah,
Poodles
look.
swim? Are you
Yeah, but
swimming
I'll
a poodle?
still beat a poodle in a swimming race.
I'll still beat a poodle's
You
ass.
would beat a poodle?
I would
Or
beat a
at swimming.
poodle in a swimming race.
Yeah.
Yeah, you totally
I want
could.
to see that now.
Fuck it, you know
I
what?
want
Not
to
even
see
to
it.
argue, I'll do a chihuahua now. Now I'm racing against a chihuahua. You can't stop me.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, and if we played basketball
Why am I
against...
gonna put myself
Give me an
against the
opponent for a
Giraffe.
bath. So the giraffes, first of all, they can't dribble.
Yep.
So they're going to be either fouling or whatever. So I'm going to get mad free throws. And then we're going to win the basketball game.
See now,
Even if it was
you want us
lions.
to lose, I was gonna say go against lions.
So they're going to foul me, and then somebody else is going to get to come out. I'm going to be dead, but then our backup's going to go shoot the free
Only
throws.
12 people
There's
on a
no
team.
way a single lion gets a bucket. There's no way. So we win.
No, but I don't. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So
The odds of person.
Okay, but if any of those animals
Well, how
have
many
the
points do you
same
think?
learning curve of training to do the sport that we've had on those
no, we would
sports,
have to train
No,
them.
but we give them the curve. So we're like, okay, humans got. So there's a court with 5 lions and there's a court with 5 guys, and you got to somehow score. You still got to.
that'd be pretty rough.
You got to score 10 points in 90 minutes.
See, this is the thing. You have a time limit. That's why I think people would lose because you have 12. At a certain point, you can't compete anymore.
Right.
And so
you run
have
out of run out of team
Yeah, so
because
you
they
got to
ate
play a
you
full
all.
48 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what you got to
Yeah,
do.
you got-
Well,
Bring the ball
wouldn't
back,
the
half
lion
court.
wouldn't the lion attacking a person be a foul and then you get to
Sure,
shoot
it's a
free
foul.
throws?
Yeah, but the other person would have to shoot for you, and every time he goes to shoot, he get fouled again,
And eaten by another lion.
and not be
So
able
then-
to compete. And at a certain point,
But it would still be 0-0 though. They wouldn't beat us.
even if you scored points, at a certain point, you'd have to forfeit out. Is what I'm saying.
So if they kill all of you.
Yes. They
So
win.
so if
They
in,
win.
if in the
Like a race.
if in the NBA there was a game and then the fucking Supersonics just murdered everybody on the Bucks.
Yes.
Are the Supersonics even a team anymore? They're not.
No.
Sonics?
Okay, whatever.
They're not.
Okay, so the Toronto Raptors play the fucking Milwaukee
Yes.
Bucks, and then the Raptors just murder everybody on the Bucks.
Yes.
Obviously, they go to jail and shit.
Yeah.
But do the Bucks have to forfeit that game because they can't play anymore?
They. No, they. Well, I would assume if this is a real life situation that they'd probably the team that was doing the murdering would forfeit first.
Yeah.
After a warning.
Right.
Right, they would
Like
get
if you murder
Yeah.
one more player, you're gonna forfeit.
right. The referee would step in. He has
Yeah.
the discretion to make that call.
I would
Yeah.
think.
Maybe it would have to be with us like. So it would just have to be. So it would have to be an Olympic within the species for it to work.
It'd be interspecies. Yeah.
Interspecies Olympics.
That's the only way it works, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Right.
And then
So,
because you
but you could do like, for instance, cats. So like all big cats. So
Yeah.
cheetahs, tigers, panthers, leopards.
well, no.
tigers.
It would have to be whatever. This would make it actually really fun to watch,
Yeah.
though. If it was like you could organize all the cheetahs. They're obviously the fastest runners. And then you find the fastest cheetah, and then he's like the Usain Bolt of cheetahs.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there'd be another event like swimming would be dolphins or whatever.
Find
I'm
the fastest-
assuming.
whatever they
and then
do
you find
the
the
best.
fastest one,
Yeah,
and
you
then
find the
he's
fastest-
the Michael Phelps of dolphins.
Yeah. The real like.
You find the Michael Phelps of every animal species and make
Yeah,
them
yeah.
race.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, sure. Or you could have multiple events. Like you could have lions doing swimming races. That would be fun to watch.
Things that lions do. Yeah.
But you would have to. The humans would have to do a lot of training because, like, you can train.
No, you put them in a
horses to
situation where they
race.
do more animal things.
Okay, so it'd be
Aspects
more.
of, like we did Olympics and we're taking like the javelin because that's one of the things we used to do, right? So
it'd be like the rodeo where they release like an antelope or whatever, and then they release a lion, and then it's like a time thing.
Yeah, maybe they climb up a tree, or maybe they have to swim across a lake.
Yeah,
you know.
So it'd be more like
a triathlon.
Extreme Ninja Warrior then. Yeah. So it wouldn't even be Olympics. We already see the Olympics like every fucking day, basically. Like, what's fucking Wipeout or Extreme Ninja Warrior?
That'd be better.
Same shit.
If we took Wipeout more seriously, I would rather watch that than the Olympics.
Because Wipeout is hilarious.
Dude, today I was watching.
There's no way to take it seriously.
Wipeout
Ninja Warrior is impressive.
Ninja Warrior is sick.
Yeah.
Wipeout is just normal people, so they're bad at everything.
That's why it's best.
And that's why it's funny.
amazing.
But that's why I'd like
why
to
it's
mix it up. Put some real people in it,
Sure.
like real fucking ninjas.
I love Ninja Warrior. I just wish there were less segments about who they are. And
Yeah, fuck
I
that.
don't.
I
I'm
wanna see
just
more
like fast
falling.
forwarding
Yeah.
shit. Just like
American
Just shut up and do the
start planning.
Spider Wolf.
American
Shut up and do the
Gladiators.
salmon
When I was a
over
kid, we had
I
American
love
Gladiators.
American Gladiators.
That
What
could
was that?
have.
I never saw that actually. I heard about it.
Yeah.
Did they fight?
No, they had certain sport. They had like a javelin, but they had foam on the end. And they were on big piers,
Oh, they
on
would fight like
pedestals, and
this?
they'd fight and they'd
Oh,
have
I've
to
seen
knock
that
each
shit.
other off.
Pugil sticks.
They had like this sport where they had a ball, a power ball, and they get tackled, right? And you have to put a ball in a little like hole.
And this thing, and they had like this machine gun with like tennis balls. And
Yep.
it's like,
Wow. This is some kid shit. It's like some
awesome.
Max Keebler's big move.
It's very like for sure invented in America.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like
very
a-
American.
It was like a board
form
rich
of
kid.
entertainment.
Yeah, totally.
It's underrated now that I think about it. When I was a kid, because they made it hokey with laser and like all these names. Like they had characters, so they were trying to make it almost like a WWF kind of situation, WWE now.
I see.
But they had like characters and traits and personalities. But these guys were straight up athletes, man.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, wrestling is such a crazy thing too.
One of the ones they had the rings, right?
Yeah.
And they go across a giant room, swinging from ring to ring. And then when they get to them, they
Just
have
leg fight.
they're fucking pulling each other off
with monkey bars.
on monkey bars.
We used to fucking do that in school. Actually,
Yeah,
we would do that
sure.
in school.
Yeah.
Real world shit.
Yeah, we would do that in fucking school. We'd have a face off
They
with the
hook
monkey
up
bars.
on the legs. The competitors had to hold on, but the
Wow.
gladiators could jump on top. They
Fuck.
full on get on top.
Monkey bars.
Yeah, can you down?
Sounds kind of more fun than watching archery or the
And
rifle shooting in the Olympics.
I wish they would let the male athletes go against the female athletes. That would have been a time to see some like fucking man on women
brutal-
action. You know?
Brutal '80s abuse.
It's just all made up shit anyway.
Yeah.
It's like now. All right, now let's see what's up. Start shooting tennis balls at women.
Right.
See them.
I'd watch that.
I love that. Fucking I would. You can do what's stopping you. Why don't you
Exactly.
just do that? We're in Thailand.
Yeah, I'm gonna start shooting tennis
So-
balls
so
at women
tennis
now.
balls at women.
Well, they'll shoot ping pong balls at me back.
Pelted. Oh my god. Oh, they smell.
Ooh, that one clipped him. He's out. He's out. Imagine that's how it works at a ping pong show. Is if you get hit by one, you're out.
Damn it.
So it's like
just dodging.
yeah.
Well, that's how
It's
it
like
is.
laser tag.
Or you have to pay.
I'll never forget.
Like,
I was at a ping pong show. This was my first ping pong show, and I'll never forget. I was with someone we all know here. His name starts with an S. I'm not gonna say names.
It ends with
And N.
tan.
And great guy. And well, we're at this ping pong show, and this chick, I don't know what to expect, but he brings me to this place, and he says, he's like, can we do the two? We pay this guy, and there's like a DJ. Welcome to the ping pong show. Do 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 do. Right, it's a fucking super intense Thai techno music, right? And we pay like $10, and the guy, my friend, he's like, we want to see number 2, 7. 14, 19, and
He knows
let's
how
finish with
works.
number 11.
This is showed like these are items that you pick for the woman to do, like activities.
Yes, so that's what it was, and it turned out like there was
this is what I'm
a
Chinese.
chick. Yeah, so a chick came on stage, and then she, so a chick came on stage, and she pulled a string full of razor blades out of her pussy.
Jeez.
That was weird.
You
And
went
then
to
she wrote her name with a pussy. She wrote her name with a pussy, and then she cut the
Did
paper.
you put a pen in the vagina?
Yes,
and then
yes.
write
and then
it?
wrote her name. And I'm like, oh, I could
I
do
see
that.
the girl do
I was,
that in snow.
I was thinking you could do that. Like, I could probably do that with my asshole. Like, that's not that clever. Like, any guy could probably do that.
Sure.
And then he's been
But it
practicing
depends.
since.
It depends how long your name is. That's all that is.
Raufeisen was a lot of
Yeah, for some reason he always writes Christopher. When he writes
Christopher. My name is
He
Christopher.
likes having the pen up his ass.
Yeah, but that's what she said. She's like, what's his? She asked, what's the name? like, what's your name? And my friend said his name. And it was pretty funny. And she cut it with the razor blade, which she also pulled out of her pussy. And she did some other shit. I remember she blew some darts. She made me hold a balloon.
Yeah, I've done that.
And we're like in a bar. It's a big open bar.
How many people are there?
It's not a room. It's just me, him, and like
some guy smoking.
And yeah, it was like a weird. It was like two weird Asian dudes in there smoking a cigarette. It's like their normal hangout, probably.
So there's more performers than there are people.
It was their cheers.
There are more performers than there are spectators.
Imagine you're friends with the girl. Where afterwards she's like, "Oh, they tipped you well.
Great
good job. Hey,
good
great set. Yeah, good job."
But here's the thing,
like in the locker rooms.
But I'll never
improvise that.
But there was one. So the two things happened. All right, the first thing is that some guy walked up and the whole time was crazy Thai techno music. So right, just crazy Thai techno, and someone puts a ping pong paddle in my hand, and I'm like, I'm laughing hysterically already, and someone puts a paddle in my hand, and I'm like, what's happening? And then I see a ping pong ball start bouncing, and I look over to the stage, and there's this chick like just sitting down, legs open, just shooting ping pong balls on her pussy, dude.
Right.
And
so you're supposed to
I start whacking these ping pong balls, right? And I'll never forget. Stan was in front of me.
Weren't you not saying his name?
Oh, he was standing in front of me, right? And he was like, Chris, and then like a fucking sniper, like in a movie when someone gets a sniper,
slow
like
motion.
a shot in the head, slow motion, a ping pong ball just hits him, just like square in the forehead, and it leaves, and I just see the glistening on his forehead left over from the ping pong ball, and his forehead was wet, and I'm like, dude, you get the fuck away from me.
Like, Mom, what'd I say? Don't shoot him in the head.
and then out of nowhere, someone at the end of the show, two girls came. Well, they were ladyboys actually. You know what happened? A ladyboy came
on your face,
and yeah,
that was the end of the show.
A ladyboy came all over my dick, dude.
That was the closer.
A ladyboy came, and she sat next to me, right? And then like the last, I don't know, there was a cake involved too. Was where I got that joke from. She blew out a cake with her. She queefed out some candles on a cake.
The ladyboy did?
Yeah, that was the grand finale. That was one of the.
That's
the
a
finale.
fart. If a ladyboy does it, it's a fart, man. You can't.
Well, no, it wasn't a ladyboy. It was a chick. It was a chick. The same chick that did all the
The
ping pong balls and the
ladyboys
blow darts.
hanging out with Chris.
It was the same chick doing all these tricks.
Okay,
basically.
Sorry, I thought you said the ladyboy came out.
No, the ladyboy came out of ladyboy came out of nowhere and sat next to me, trying to get me to buy her drink. And I said, no, I'm just here for the
show.
I'm just here for this, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so the last act. So now it was like the last act, and the chick starts. She takes this big bottle of water, like a fucking.
So she was the
1.5 liter. Right, same chick doing all the tricks.
Okay.
And she shoves. She somehow shoves it in her pussy, like she puts it all in her pussy.
Somehow.
Right. She like. I don't know how she did it, but she like
gently.
Yeah, she like filled her pussy up with water, and then the lady boy got up and ran away. And I'm like, wait, why'd you run away? I'm like, why are you leaving? And then the chick started squirting water all over.
Oh Jesus!
Me and
and your friend
and my friend here, and I got away like.
It's like their big finale at SeaWorld.
Oh,
yeah,
it was disgusting.
It's like the surprise in the first 3
rows. Where they get the whale to
rows.
jump and splash the kids.
What is she doing? She's been shooting things out of her vagina all night. Now she just put 2 liters of liquid.
Right,
and she's aiming right at me.
Yeah,
right.
I wonder what's gonna happen.
Right, well, I got out of the fire. I got out of the line of fire, and Stan's like SeaWorld, bro. I'm fucking him say his name. God damn it! But yeah, he was like at the end of fucking like of a Magic Mountain or whatever.
The Shamu.
Yeah, at the end of when you lift the
like the log ride.
With the log ride at Disney World, where you put the hands up and it just splashes.
That'd be good if they took a picture of it. So you can buy it as you leave. Like, oh my God, look at your face.
That was terrible.
It'd be kind of funny if, like, 1 month later, you take your friends and they ask you, like, you get there and you're like, hey, bro, why are you wearing a poncho? Like, why are you wearing a rain poncho right now? It's like, it's like, I'm afraid of rain. Like, don't.
It was fucked up,
just
man.
sit here.
And it was so funny because these were requested acts, by the way. These were
acts. He chose.
These were acts were requested, right? But he was trying to fuck, like, show me something I never seen before. So I respect that. Yeah, that was amazing. I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
and then
you need to pay it forward.
And then at the end of the night, I'm on the street waiting for a taxi, and I see a lone ping pong ball just roll out onto the street, and I'm like,
Did this song from the Hulk
play? Exactly how that night capped off.
Let's hear about your.
So
dumb
how
shit.
many times do you think you've actually been cool in your life?
How many
Like
times
that
I've been
you
cool?
can actually like be like, oh, that was a cool
I'm a
thing
cool
that I did.
guy. I don't know. Always. That's all. I'm always turned on with. Like, I'm always the on switch is always on. I'm not turned on
Because Justin has his story of scoring his hockey goal, and like you know, but then like how many times do you think like you're actually?
We have, I think, because we played sports, but you played sports too.
Of course.
You played some, right?
Yeah.
Some when you're a kid. There's moments that we all have of things that we remember that probably nobody else remembered. Maybe that one other dude that you did it to, if you had like a sweet move or some shit. But there's also just times where you just, because of your perspective, you're like, that was fucking cool.
Right, and nobody else.
Would ever know
Yeah.
because it wasn't like you were taping it. It wasn't
Yeah.
like, and it wasn't as important to them as you.
No, I went to a basketball practice. I thought I was having a basketball practice so I was in like grade 7, so I was like 12.
Yeah.
So the practice was canceled, but I didn't somehow get the information. So I showed up early at like 6 a.m. It was like before school, and nobody was there. And I was like, oh fuck, I guess the practice something happened. So I'm just alone in the gym.
So you jerked
And
off.
yeah, definitely. And then after, then after I finished, so I'm just,
Center court.
yeah, right. No, I was trying to get it into the net actually. So after that, I'm just by myself with the basketball, and I just like booted one over my head, and it like perfect switch, and I was like, oh.
Nobody.
Oh fuck! I guess this didn't even happen then.
Yeah, might as well.
I saw a video. There's a
Tree falling in the woods.
There's an old school video of a journalist at a basketball court. He's reporting some high school game or whatever, and he's in the center, and then somebody shot something like from blackhand, and he throws the ball over his head, and it goes like nothing but net.
Perfect switch.
And then people are like, "You put it in." And it's like he turns around. He's like,
I'll see
and
that.
he was like, "Did you have that on camera? Did you have that?" He couldn't even believe that it happened. He was just like,
Yeah.
"What?" He just like threw it.
Yeah,
That's not
true.
cool. But here's the
That's
thing. Like,
awesome.
that's just lucky.
But as
Yeah,
a
that was
kid,
lucky,
but
but
as a
it's
kid, we think like that'll make the girls like us. You know, when you're like a little kid and you think you have like nothing but net from behind the back,
Yeah.
you think that's like
Girls are just like,
oh,
you
girls
guys
are
are
totally
stupid.
Girls
Yeah.
gonna fuck us now for
Yeah.
sure.
I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know if how soon you know that's like why you. I think I agree with you that we're doing it to get fucked, but we don't
Not
know
consciously.
it. We're not consciously.
Especially
I think I
when
was
you're
conscious of it.
younger.
When you're young and you're hot dogging it, there's part of you telling you there's a reward for this.
bragging
But it's- but it's all
rights, the-
instinctive.
You look cool in front of the chick.
So we're being
Right.
like the birds that Rick is watching. Like,
You look like
we're
the
just,
man.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember when I was a senior in high school, I told someone I was going to do a backflip.
You can't, and you
And,
don't,
and
you
then,
don't know how to do
and then
that.
the word got out, and then eventually there was a group of like 12 people following me around the school, and as I was being pressured to do this fucking backflip, and then I didn't do it, and then I just didn't do it, dude. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it.
Have
Fuck
you
this.
ever done a backflip?
I lied. Never, not once. But I was like, I bet you I could do it, and then I
didn't
told
even
someone that I was
try.
going to do it.
I used to be.
No,
able
I've
to.
never.
Really?
Yeah, but not a perfect backflip. Like, when I was
But
like
you
12,
still land on your feet.
I landed on my feet, but kind of almost on my ass. Like I was not like not like a very athletic backflip. You just land standing up.
Not like a guy who just scores a touchdown and then
Yeah.
does a backflip.
No, I wasn't flying through the air. I was just rotating
I
fast
did
enough to make it.
I did a perfect somersault once. Just that easy somersault thing.
Like on the
But
ground.
I've always been
What,
a big guy.
the roll?
Just like that, and I was like, all right, I did it, and I never tried it again.
Well, like
that was it.
like where you just tuck your head in and roll. That
no, a
one?
somersault where you're just
Like
with
a
your
front flip.
hands when you're.
Oh, you mean a cartwheel?
Cartwheel.
There was a
yeah.
time. There was a time in boot camp.
Cartwheel. That's
We were
it.
doing an obstacle
Fuck.
course, and it
I
was
didn't
like
manage to do one right.
we.
Maybe
There,
one.
there,
Yeah, my legs are
Everybody just a round off, right? Yeah, but that was me being a fat guy. I was just one of those things of like, all right, I got to do this just because this seems like every kid does this.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that one fat kid who can't do it.
Chris Farley.
I
was
did
great.
it. I did it once, and then I know, but I wish I could have kept doing it
just roll.
and been that guy who like, oh, this fat guy could do all
Yo,
this
an
bullshit.
athletic fat guy is the most
Nimble.
fun thing to watch.
Like
Sure.
Chris Farley.
Yeah.
When I
Or
played
just like,
basketball,
or like you know, like the like in American football where a fat guy gets the ball accidentally and then just goes on an awesome like 70-yard run.
I like the time that he recognizes like
He's like, oh fuck,
That's
I got this.
best.
This is the only time this is ever gonna happen.
that's
to
how
me.
Chris responds to any woman who gives like gives a wink.
Dude,
He's
check
like,
it out.
what?
He's
Check it
like
out.
a fat
He
guy
looks
with a
around-
rock.
Yeah, he looks
Check it
around
out.
to see who.
There was a
who's gonna
dude.
stop him.
There was a dude talking about being cool. All right. We were playing a football game. It was a varsity football game Friday night.
Friday
And
Night
I was
Lights.
like a senior. I was a junior or senior. I don't remember. But we're at this school, right, and we're getting our asses fucking kicked. So I remember they put me in at cornerback.
So this is a joke, right? Like,
well, we're getting
you
ass
guys
kicked.
are losing, yeah.
Right. But I'll never. I think someone scored. I mean, I don't remember, dude. But I'll never forget, dude. We had like our second or third string defense in, and my friend Juan, he's this fucking he's this dude from Venezuela. He's a super Hispanic dude, has an accent and everything, and the other team throws the ball and it literally just lands. It just lands like in his arms.
He's like, oh
and,
fuck!
And he ran and he was right by the end zone. He's like 10 yards away.
Yeah.
And he's running and he's like it's like he doesn't know what to do.
He's so
and
not used to having the
it's
ball.
so funny,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, it was crazy. He like juked nobody. Like yeah, dude.
But he did like a little fucking...
It was hilarious. And even though we got our asses kicked, it was like an amazing, like everyone was like cheering and shit. It was just hilarious.
You scored?
Yeah, he scored.
Oh, man.
Dude, my football team was insane. I remember this same guy, a year before when we were like kids.
What's his name again?
Juan.
Okay.
I don't want to say
sound better than
names.
Sutter.
Juan's a great guy.
No. You
but-
said it last time.
You said Juan.
Juan. You said it really long, like it's just how-
Like it was a Thai name. Juan.
Yeah,
like
Juan.
sweet.
One.
Be Juan.
No, it was Juan, Hispanic dude, Venezuelan dude. So check it out. We're at football practice. It's raining. It's like you know the scene in Saving Private Ryan where Vin Diesel gets shot, and it's like raining, and they're in that town, and it's like that's the kind of day it was. It was like a really dark and gloomy day.
Okay.
Right.
It was a dark and gloomy
and it was
day.
intense. It was an intense practice, right? And Juan, that same dude that scored, he got crushed. There was we had like his giant lineman that rolled on him or something like that, and he was like his hip was broken. He was crushed. And he was laying in a puddle of mud. And I remember the coach, he fucking blew the whistle and he's like, all right, fuck it, just move the practice 10, just go 10 feet. Everyone move 10 feet to the right.
Somebody's in a puddle.
And they
Mexican.
just kept practicing. And the trainer came out.
Nobody took care of him?
Yeah, but it was dope because that's what it was like. Because we were huddled around him, and the coach blew the whistle. He was like, "All right, get back in fucking formation." And it was like we're looking at a dead body of one of our comrades. We had to move on to, we had to move on.
Yeah.
And that's what it felt like. It was insane. It was fucking
What happened
crazy.
to Juan?
He got picked up in a golf cart and taken to a hospital.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know.
After staying,
Sorry for
just
saying his
watching you practice for 30 minutes? Or?
Yeah, well, he was in the play. He was. Yeah.
So he was just injured, sitting in the mud, in the
broken-
rain, just abandoned by a broken hip.
Something like that. Yeah.
So normally it's
Probably
like
not a
80-year-old dudes who break their hips.
But that was our coaches were dicks like that. Our coaches weren't. I think that coach was a dick. That coach.
Are you sure it was a broken hip?
Yeah, it was fucking. He
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
shit up. Pretty bad. It was intense, man. But football was like, I remember there was a 7-on-7. We did 7-on-7s before the season. So we would go compete, and it would be like all the schools show up, and we all have there's 4 games, like a tournament kind of thing, and it's just 7-on-7, no defense, really just receivers and cornerbacks and safeties, right? And I remember I showed up because I'm technically a wide receiver, even though I'm just a kicker, right? But I showed up, and we were warming up, and we're doing like bomb passes. And I caught one with one hand in front of like everybody, and everyone was like, "Oh, this guy's fucking sick." And then I swear to God, I literally went to the sideline, and then I went and just cooked burgers for 2 hours. I did that one thing, and then I just left, and then I retired.
That should get me one pussy.
And then I just went and ate burgers with Malter, like with the linemen and shit. I just hung out. It was fucking. That's who I was. I was a huge slacker.
Right.
Yeah.
But you made that one catch that
I
one
did
time.
make that one catch that one time. You can't take that away from me.
Yeah.
Like.
See, and here's the thing, like, nobody but you remembers
I thought
that.
I was sick. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No one remembers that, but I remember that.
Nobody. Yeah.
I'm like, that was sick. That was totally funny.
But I'm sure that's true for most of us. Like, the greatest sports moments of your life.
Yeah.
Maybe your dad, if he was there, and then that's it. Nobody else gives a fuck.
What was this?
Yeah.
What was
You know what would be hilarious though is if you know how they have like the Sports Center top 10, and they also have the not top 10.
Sure.
It's like the fails.
Come on, man.
Wouldn't it be sick if you could watch because obviously you weren't being filmed, but it would be great if you could have the top 10 like sports moments of your life,
That would be the best.
and then they would all 10 of them would be pretty sick.
Probably.
But then even better would be the top 10 fails
Oh, that would be
of like.
awesome.
And not even just athletic ones, just like social fails or just
Oh,
like
yeah.
the times
Oh,
you
yeah,
look like the
totally.
biggest idiot.
But if you think about your sports fails, what would be your biggest one?
I can't, because I kind of block those out. I don't really remember.
Mine is clearly when I broke my front teeth. That was my worst.
Oh, like
What were you doing?
I used to do a lot of mountain biking. I mean, not like I just be on a mountain bike a lot. Mountain biking, like just.
it was on the mountain bike.
No, so and I was in town with my bike, but the thing is, it had rained a bit, and then I was on some wet, like flat stone, like sidewalk.
Sure. Oh shit.
So my front wheel just slipped out of me. Just slipped, and I just hit.
And you're still holding the handlebar.
You know, I hit the pavement with my teeth. It's just like front
So
teeth.
that's why you
hurt
like
yourself.
Ouch.
Yeah, you fucking American History X'd yourself.
Yeah, American History X. No, not on the curb, just on flat ground. I was just like horrible.
Did
But
you
it
like
was-
slide with
How
your
much
teeth?
did it hurt like a motherfucker?
Probably conky.
Seemed
No,
like-
no, it felt like my teeth, like it was just two of them. It's just part of them, not the entire. It's just like the corners.
Ouch.
They just turn into powder. It's just like they're just like.
But had it,
Whoa.
like, was it numb? Did it feel like...
No, but it was just the end of the tooth, so I still have my nerves.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck, dude.
So I was fine. It was like they're not dead. My teeth are still alive, but it was just like it was just and it wasn't in front of people. It was just like
Were you bleeding
just
like
on my own.
crazy?
No, it was just teeth. Just no, I didn't. Even, no, the other worst bike fail I've had was also on a mountain bike coming out of a park with a friend of mine who had done all run. Wait, well, no, that day was bad because I hit my handlebars. I was passing two wooden cones or whatever, so that you can't get through the car or whatever.
Okay.
And I hit one of the wooden things with my handlebar, and I felt so hard I almost fainted. I started passing out. I started seeing like stars.
Did the
and
handlebar
shit.
twist and stick in your gut? And you're like,
No, it's just the dumbest fall in front of a bar in front of people. And then later that day, at the end of the day, there was like this little bricks on the ground that I used to like just hit and then just jump with my bike. And then that day I hit it, and then just my wheel got stuck, and I just went over my handlebar like full speed, and I broke my collarbone. I burnt my face. Like I scraped my face. I had stitches on my eyebrows. I was like, I ended up in the hospital and stuff. That was kind of fun.
I think
That's
the
intense.
worst. I think the worst.
Yeah, but it was stupid. It was just dumb in front of people.
I had the exact same,
Sorry, I
definitely
almost
look like
exact same fall, where I think I've already talked. You can see the scar on my lip.
Yeah, a little bit.
I had to get many stitches, like I don't know, 14 stitches, I think.
Jesus.
You could see it was a hole in my lip. You could see my teeth
Joaquin
through it.
Phoenix situation.
Yeah, it's not that.
fuck?
Well, he's got a hair lip, right?
Yeah.
So we were kind of drunk and high. I was like
Good combo.
16, 17 maybe. And I was with my high school buddies. And we decided we were going to race back to my buddy's place from where we were smoking weed. And it was dark and we didn't have helmets on and we were drunk and high. And I'm winning the race. And we were at this school. So I'm like cutting across the soccer field. And it's mad dark. So I can't see this. But there's a parking lot. But what I didn't realize is they were like redoing the parking lot. So they had been like excavating it. So there was a big ass ditch where the curb was supposed to be. And so my front wheel just planted and I just flew over my handlebars. And I could hear this is the last thing I remember. This is the last thing I remember. My buddies were like, ha ha, oh. And I just, boom, and just fucking right here. And then road rash all over my face. And then I don't really remember shit because I was severely concussed.
Holy shit.
I don't remember shit after that until like a while later. And apparently my buddies were like, dude, you're fucked. Like, get off your bike. And I was like, no, but we're close to Charlie's house. Let me just ride my bike. Yeah. And then apparently I just rode my bike. And then I asked them the next day, I was like, why the fuck did you guys let me ride my bike? And they were like, you seemed very determined. we weren't going to stop you. And then
you look
I
dumb?
kept going. I was mad concussed. I've told both of you guys this, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so my
You said
buddies.
it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, that's the concussion. No, and it affects me to this day. I think the concussion. It really does.
Are you afraid of newly paved parking lots?
Yeah.
You
I'm
got
afraid of
fear?
renovating parking lots. But my buddy's dad is a doctor, and we're going to his place. So I went, hey Charlie, we got to get to your place. Your dad's a doctor. He'll know what to do. And then they were like, yeah, that's what we're doing. And then literally like 30 seconds later, I was like, yo Charlie, here's what we got to do. We got to go to your place because your dad's a doctor. And they were like, yeah, dude, you just said that. And I was like, okay, well, that's what we're doing, right? And they're like, yeah, dude, look where you're going. Keep riding your bike. And then I'd be like, yo, boys, why is my face bleeding?
Like, you ate shit on him.
Because I fucking ate shit. And then apparently, like, I was too concussed to really know.
Yeah.
But Charlie's dad looked at my face and went like, there's nothing I can do about this. He's got to go to the hospital.
Yeah, right? What the fuck? What is this fucking Little House on the Prairie?
He had to call my dad, and then my dad came to pick me up.
Jesus Christ.
And I've just got like a horror face. And and my dad thought I was drunker than I was because I was being nonsensical. I didn't realize I would keep going with this story till the end, but I was 17 or 16, so I went to the children's hospital.
Wow.
Right? Because they have this thing, I don't know if you guys have this in America, there's like the kids' hospital as part of the general hospital.
Okay.
So I go to like the kids' emergency room, and so I'm just sitting there with my fucked up face with my lip that you can see through,
Right.
and just blood all over my shit and whatever. And I'm like, I gotta go take a piss. At this point, I'm like aware of what's going on. And my dad's like, all right, fucking whatever. He's embarrassed that he's even here. And I'm walking to the bathroom, and this little 3-year-old girl comes out of one of the doctor's rooms, and she's like holding hands with her mom and sees me with my fucked up face and just goes like, ah, and just like runs away.
Wow.
Because I look like fucking Leatherface to her.
Jesus Christ. You got it pretty bad there.
Yeah.
That's pretty gnarly.
And then to this day, like, I'll say something and then fucking repeat it like shortly after. And I'd be like, oh fuck, that's the concussion that's still there.
Wow.
Could be.
I got a story.
Well,
sorry, go.
I was just gonna say I had a friend who he got into an accident like that too, and he was asking all dumb shit. We're bringing you, we're taking you, and he just kept asking, and we were just like, you know what, fuck it, and we just left it.
Good.
I'm glad I had better friends than you guys.
Jesus. I'd like
Yo, this is getting boring.
I've
He's
never
repeating himself. This guy's
Like,
not
dude,
cool
shut
anymore.
the fuck up. Yeah, man, we're going there right now.
That's your grab? That's your G-rab?
That's my alarm.
I can't.
No, I was gonna say this is the real thing though. Is like I think it really is a travesty to not have it's the biggest travesty in life. I think any way that I died, if I knew that at the end I could get to see a highlight reel,
Yeah.
that
See?
would be the shit.
That would make life...
Any way that I died, I'd sign up for that.
Right, because you don't know. You're just going to be gone, most likely.
Yeah.
I would feel better about dying. It's like, okay, we're going to show you the highlight reel.
Yeah.
What do you think is
Like, good and bad.
You think your life is like
dude.
fucking...
It'd be like a 2000 episode kind of thing where they just show you all the and then some people say some. They're like, yeah.
Wouldn't that be crazy? Is when you die, you get to watch your life on Netflix. Like you watch the whole thing.
Dude.
I'd watch that shit.
Yeah, I already when I fuck and record it, I already go back.
Well,
and watch
all
it.
your
That's
questions,
a mini version of-
you just sit
Cut that
there
out,
and
that's
you.
horrible.
I think what would be cool is if you kind of just you exist and you just ask all the questions you have, and then when you can't think of any more questions, you move on to the
I
next
would
thing.
be satisfied. That's even because I'm a futurist. I really want to know what's going to happen in the future
yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. What things are going to be like in 100 years and 2,000 years, shit like that. But I would trade that for a highlight reel.
Of your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Highlights
doesn't have
and
to be that
lowlights.
long. I mean, who knows how long
Could be a 10-minute compilation.
It'd be like what it's like. Listen, we don't have a lot of highlights, man. We only got the fucking.
Yeah.
Like I guess this is your highlights. Your fucking shitty life.
Yeah.
Jesus, like that one time.
we don't have enough for a top 10. Here's your top 3.
That one time you found that sweet deal on Grab and got a discount for some fried chicken. Like here's that.
The guy we hired to edit your best of killed himself. It was so bad.
It was so sad.
He's gone on to
The
the
editor.
next plane of
The
existence.
editor.
And then whatever, and we're scared of that existence. We don't even know what happened.
So now you got to go edit some other dude's videos.
There's a lot of dumb moments. I had a dumb moment I wanted to bring up. My dumbest moment is when I forgot my lines at a talent show, and I bombed in front of like 400 people that went to school with me.
Including your grandma,
Including
right?
my grandma. You've all heard that story. But this other one was in 8th grade, and I was a wrestler. I was in wrestling, and I wasn't that good. But I was
That was a rape, Chris.
I was
You were
okay.
raped.
So check it out. I was an
You
eighth.
enjoyed the content.
I was an 8th grader.
You're pronouncing rapist.
I was an
really
eighth. I was
weirdly.
an 8th grader, and I was yeah. So I was wrestling as an 8th grader, but I was in JV. There's JV and varsity, right? And usually 8th graders are all varsity, and 7th graders are JV, right? But I was on the guy ahead of me, the guy in my weight class that was
You weren't
also
good.
the same
You weren't
age.
good
He was
enough.
way better than me. He was been wrestling.
She was.
He was
She was.
way better than me.
He was in
Right.
the women's
He was a
division.
beast. There was no. I was never gonna beat him. He was like
She.
He'd been wrestling since like 4th grade.
Okay.
And so I'm wrestling JV, right? And I'm a champion. I'm killing. I'm a beast, dude. I'm unstoppable.
You're like
I'm the
man,
best. I'm
female.
the best wrestler in my weight division at JV.
Right.
And I remember they moved me up. So this is funny because it never went on my record, but they moved me up to varsity for one match, like halfway through the season, and I was replacing my friend Taylor. Taylor wasn't going to be there. I got to go in the fight for his weight class, or to go be in his weight class, right? And so I'm wrestling 150 varsity, 8th grade, right? And I remember it was so quick. It was like I showed up. And I showed up to the guy. I showed up, and wrestling is like a super personal. Like I don't like wrestling. Actually, it's very intimate
homoerotic
because you're like this is your opponent. You're face to face with this other dude, and you got to beat him. You don't know this. You've never met this guy. It's weird. It's crazy. And he was with his mind. He looked at me. He's like, all right. And he was like ripped. He was like one of those ripped 8th graders. Like that was like really sinewy and shit. And he was like a big ass.
And he's looking at this little Chinese girl.
Yeah, he was like a Middle Eastern dude or something. But he was a swole ass dude, and he looked at me, and with his eyes, he's like, "All right, listen, I'm just gonna beat your ass real quick, right?" Like that's what he said.
This is gonna be easy. Oh, right. He said that,
like with his mind, to my mind, in his eyes, he said that, and they blew the whistle, and I was like, it was like when a snake attacks like a mouse, dude, and it just like wraps itself up and just fucking, dude, he pinned me in like 30 seconds. And I was like, I put up a fight, but I like you just said.
You didn't. It was 30 seconds. That's
no, but
30 seconds sounds like a long time.
30 seconds. More like 3 seconds.
If you can hold your breath longer than you fought, then that's not fight.
It's not much of a fight.
Well, I was trying, dude. He pinned me. I was like, he got on me and just pinned me with. It was really quick. And
pinned you again.
And it was just like, it was like my coach patted me in the back, and he's like, you never would have stood a chance, so it's fine. Like, something like that. Yeah. And it was like, and I just felt so dumb. I felt like, I'm an idiot.
Oh, that's probably it. That's why they brought you up. Is because they knew, well, maybe if you won,
sacrificed
this. But they knew that guy was, he was such a maybe. This is just thinking. So he was such a badass. The record of the other guy, so they were like,
he was that weight classes.
Right. He was like, this guy's gonna beat anybody on our team.
So let's throw the shittiest guy at him.
Like,
let's throw our little Chinese girl.
This guy's bragging about beating women. In JV.
Hey, we're gonna wrap it up, man. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time here at the Raw Comedy Podcast.
See you next time.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate